You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a
kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. What it do, what it do, what it do. Good, great, grand morning to everybody. Good, great, grand morning to you. Yeah, now I'm talking about ladies and lads, brethren and sisters and kings and queens. And everything in between, you know what I'm talking about? Rays and Reynas, you know what I'm talking about? Hermanos mi hermanas. You know what I'm saying? The doctor's in the house. Let's get right. Let's get right. Let's get right, man. Get it right. Get it right. Keep it tight. Hey, get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Let's get right to it, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget to smack that like button. But before we do, you know, hopefully you're watching this this WBC Grand Prix too, man. It's been pretty good. Yesterday, today, this is the first fight, Hamden versus Sauceda. You know, I don't really know these fighters, but you're not supposed to, right? These are supposed to be up-and-comers that are trying to make a name of themselves. I will say, I don't like that horn at the 30-second mark. I feel like it's confusing. Like, I don't even know why they added that. Like, take that away. You know, we already have the 10-second clapper. And you could even see sometimes when the horn goes off, the fighters kind of freeze a little bit. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Is because they have to be like, okay, wait, that's not the final bell, you know? Ooh! But yeah, before we get started, let's go ahead and thank the man upstairs, you know? So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. We thank you for waking us up this beautiful, bright morning and letting us see another day, Lord. And let us have confidence that if we are up, that our storybook is not over. We just turn in the page. And that's a blessing, because if our story still be written, no matter what we're going through, we know that it's going to get better. We will see better days, Lord. So as long as we stay faithful to you, as long as we stay dedicated and positive, Lord, everything will be more than okay. Everything will be wonderful, prosperous, and beautiful, because that's what you put us here for, to thrive, not just survive, but thrive and live a fruitful life in all of our passions, Lord, as long as our passions are good. We want to also throw some prayers for those that were lost in the horrific, terrible, disgusting shooting in Tallahassee at Florida State University, in particular, those ones that lost their lives. We pray that you comfort the families and just spread love, Lord, and help us to stay in the right mindset so where we won't do things like this, Lord. And we ask for times of peace and comfort, and also times of rest for those that passed away. And that we also ask that those that were shot at, injured, that they recover as well. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, 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 man. So let's get to it, man. So we have some news coming from the Jake Paul camp. We have okay, so today is the day of announcements. And we have quite a few announcements as far as boxing goes. We have Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., man. Jake Paul will be fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He'll be fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in June. And of course, this fight was rumored for quite some time, right? Especially with WBA President Gilberto Mendoza, for some reason, came out and said that he wouldn't mind Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fighting for what he said is called a belt.
What?
It's like, why would they fight for a belt? Who has Jake Paul fought to be in a position to fight for a belt? But I guess he's going to make a belt, just for a money grab. I guess, at the end of the day, I mean, if Jake Paul is fighting and making money, I guess they feel like, hey, why not, man? Maybe I'm entitled to some money too from this. He is in the box. They are in the sport of boxing, so why not make it for a belt that we could apply a fee to? I think it's very silly, and I think that it's indicative of why we A, have too many belts, we B, don't take the belt seriously, and C, we may have to, if not get rid of the sanctioned bodies, at least get some restructuring done. Like it's crazy. Like they shouldn't fight for a belt, and if they're gonna fight for a belt, it should be a belt that MVP designed or something like that, their own belt. Like I feel like it's disrespectful to the current WBA champions. Like I don't know who's a WBA champion. Hell, Nick Ball, Gervonta Tank Davis. Gilberto Ramirez, Zurdo. And all the other WBA champions. I feel like you just gotta make a belt for a guy. And shout out to Jake Paul. I like Jake Paul as far as what he's doing, especially for the women's boxing, and the exposure of boxing and making boxing more popular, especially among the casual fans. But at the same time, that's good from a promotional standpoint, but from a fighting standpoint, I mean, he hasn't fought any real boxers. I mean, the closest he came to fighting a professional boxer was Tommy Fury, and he lost. You know what I'm saying? So he lost to a semi-pro boxer, and yeah, his other opposition has been retired basketball players like Nate Robinson, or retired MMA fighters like Tyron Woodley or Ben Askren or whoever else it is, or a guy that like Mike Perry or whatever, who it is, or a geriatric 60-year-old Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So the iconic Mike Tyson is like, bro, that's not real fighting. So why would you even associate this nonsense with a belt? It's crazy to me. But hey, people are gonna do what they do, and the sanctioned body's gonna fill their pockets. But so we'll see if that's gonna be for a belt. But according to reports, Jake Paul will be fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in June. So we could look forward to that. Junio, you know what I'm saying? If you want to look forward to it, I'm sure it's going to be all right. Yo, what's good? He said, G Funky's tits was good. Salutations. And then next up, man, we have a big announcement, man. This is the one I'm excited for, man. This is a huge announcement coming from a little division. You know what I'm saying? Got to prepare us for it. You got to get some cheers going. We got Big Junto versus Ryosuke Nishida dropping a bomb on us. They also will be fighting in June, and that'll be June 8th, good Lord willing, man. So this summer, we finally get a unification matchup. I love unifications. This year seems like the year of the unifications. We will actually get Junto Nakatani versus Ryosuke Nishida on June 8th to unify two of the belts at the bantamweight division, 118-pound division, man. Finally coming to fruition. We've been talking about it for a while, that it was been they were in preliminary talks, so we discussed that, and then they were in deep discussions, and we discussed that, and then now it seems like it is finalized for June 8th, man. So this is good. We're gonna actually get some straightening out at 118, because those of you that don't know, 118 has 4 champions. Junto Nakatani who's a WBC, Ryosuke Nishida, who's a IBF, Seiya Tsutsumi, and Yoshiki Takei. I don't remember which ones they have, but those two are the WBA and WBO. I just don't remember which one's which right now. But I think Seiya Tsutsumi is WBA. I think Yoshiki Takei is WBO, but don't quote me. But anyway, there's 4 different champions and they're all undefeated at 118. So now we're gonna get some straightening. Not only will we get to see a guy emerge as a definitive best at 118 if you're unified, right? You have the majority of the belts. But also somebody's O has to go. So there's a lot at stake. You know, 2 undefeated fighters, 2 good fighters. I personally believe Junto Nakatani is the best at 118. I think he's the guy and the only guy between 118 and 122. I'll say between 115 and 122 that could beat Nai anyway. I picked Junto Nakatani to beat him. So I think he's the best, but we want to see that he's the best. I have to see that he's the best. I could think he's the best all day, but until he proves it, he's just one of 4 undefeated champions, you know what I'm saying? And he's one of the 4 best at bantamweight. So now he will definitively separate himself from the rest of the field, you know, just like Jerron Bucinis just did when he fought Stanionis, right? There's 4 different champions. He had Stanionis, who was undefeated, Jerron Bucinis, who's still undefeated, Brian Norman, who was undefeated, and then you had Barrios, who he wasn't undefeated, but he's been the champion the longest, you know what I'm saying? So now with Stanionis and Jerron Bucinis fighting, and Jerron Bucinis coming out on top, he has an IBF and the WBA belt, and he also has the Ring Magazine belt, so he has definitively separated himself as the #1 guy in the welterweight division. So I would love to see Junto Nakatani do the same thing, or hell, even if he loses, let Ryosuke Nishida do the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So this is great news, man. If you don't like this, I don't know, man. You might not like boxing. I think this is fire, bro. So I'm looking forward to that, man. Big Junto Nakatani versus Ryosuke Nishida, June 8th, man. Oof. I'm not going to miss that one, good Lord willing. As long as God bless me with another day to see, I'm going to have my butt right here watching in the place to be. And that's going to be at Ariake Arena in Tokyo. You know what I'm talking about? In Japan. So we'll see it. He said, hey, Oscar Perez in the building, man. Big member in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. My guy. What's good, Oscar? How you doing, man? He said, I called this as last year, 2025, year of unifications. All divisions ready to unify and champions setting themselves apart from their contemporaries. Yes, sir. Ryosuke Nishida for the stoppage.
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit!
Bro, stop. Boy, stop. Stop it, bro. Ryosuke Nishida for the stoppage. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Maybe he stopped Seiya Tsutsumi or Yoshiki Takei, but not that boy Junto. Not big Junto. We got Isaiah in the building, man. Top of the morning. What's good, bro? Good morning, brother. What's popping with you, man? Hopefully you're good. We got big Junto. Junto's about to separate himself, man. Junto about to be undisputed at 118 if he wants to be. You know, in my opinion now, I think the biggest threat to Junto Nakatani, Ryosuke Nishida is good. Yoshiki Takei is good. I think Junto Nakatani, I think Yoshiki Takei, no disrespect, but I'm not saying he's a weak fighter, but relative to the other champions, I think that stylistically, I think he'll be the easiest one for Junto to beat. I think Ryosuke Nishida, that's a tough matchup. But I think Seiya Tsutsumi is probably the most difficult to beat just because of his gas tank. But even then, I think Junto's he'll be too precise, man. Too precise, too sharp, and too explosive. You know what I'm saying? Too explosive, man. That gosh dang, that gosh dang left hand, boy, that left hand drop bombs on him. You feel me? I don't know now. I don't know, man. Big Junto, man. I don't know now. Junto Nakatani? I don't know, man. I don't know, but hey, I love it. I love the fact that you go for Ryosuke Nishida because he's a good fighter as well. He's also a southpaw as well. They're both tall fighters, and we'll see how it goes, man. I think Junto Nakatani is slightly taller, but they're both tall. They have a lot of similar characteristics, right? A lot of similar dimensions. And, you know, like I said, they're both southpaw. They're both tall, rangy fighters. So, like I said, I think Junto Nakatani may be 1 inch or so taller, but, you know, relatively the same, man. He said the undercard lid is, oh, you saw the undercard? I didn't see the undercard. I didn't even look at the undercard yet. Well, who's on the undercard? Who's on the undercard, my brother? Yes, sir, man. But now let's move forward to switch gears a little bit. You know what I'm saying? On the stick shift, let's switch gears a little bit. Hold on. Get that thing back in. We were in a reverse a little bit. Let's get back in drive. You know what I'm saying? We got Shakur versus Zepeda announced last night, right? Dropped a video on it. Go check it out, man. Go check out all the videos. Go like all the videos. You ain't like this video yet, Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? G-Funk. You know what I'm saying? Oscar, like the video. You know what I'm talking about? It's free, baby. It's free support. Yeah, feel me? Go ahead and like that video, man. And shout out to all the members, man. Consider becoming a member for the $3. Starting off at $3, you can do more as well. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Helps the channel keep going and growing, and that's what we need. You know that. So, but yeah, man. So we have news coming from Shakur and Zepeda. Actually, coming from Oscar De La Hoya. It's coming from Oscar De La Hoya, and you know Shakur has co-signed it. We have Shakur versus Zepeda in July. You know, this summer, which I dropped last night. It happened late last night. And, you know, Oscar De La Hoya said it's on, baby. It's on like Donkey Kong. You know, he said it's on. And then Shakur was like, yes, let's get it, you know. And I think this is the fact that this came on The Verge. I mean, this came at the time when he apologized. I don't think it's any coincidence, man. I think, you know, like, I believe there was a misunderstanding. You know, but I just love people, man. It's so funny. People don't realize how ridiculous they are. Like people that are anti-Shakur, you're ridiculous for killing the man for apologizing. You know what I'm saying? But it is something to notice. It's like, bro, you know, he came out very hard, talking about F Turkey and F his people, and they go are man of their words, and I don't bow down for nobody. And then now you walk it back. You retracted, you apologize. So of course it's gonna look like you were either disciplined, or it's gonna look like, you know, you made a mistake that you owned up to, which he did, you know. But of course when money's involved and you talking big like that, you walk it back, it's gonna look a certain way. So and then but I don't think there's anything wrong with apologizing. Real men apologize, you know, real people apologize, real mature people apologize when they do something wrong, you know. So but then you got the pro Shakur fans who make it seem like nothing wrong happened at all. Like, oh yeah, man, y'all are tripping for holding this against him. What do you mean, bro? This Shakur is one of the most talkative fighters out there, you know what I'm saying, especially when it comes to tweeting. So of course when you talking the big talk and you're very loud about it, then of course people are gonna hold your words against you, as they should. You see what I'm saying? But I don't think you should kill him for it. But I don't think you should act like nothing happened. Like it's okay to do that. Like people are just ridiculous. Like it's just so funny because the haters of Shakur and the lovers of Shakur, they're the same people. They're the same exact people. You know, the same people that are pro Shakur to the point where you're defending it like nothing happened. Then you're just anti somebody else, and it's probably Tank, or I don't know, or maybe Terrence Crawford, or maybe well, I guess you like Terrence Crawford if you like Shakur, but you know what I'm saying? You might be anti somebody else, and then you're pro Shakur, you might be anti, you know, vice versa. So, or if you're anti Shakur, then you might be just as heavy on the pro side of Tank or Devin or Ryan Garcia or something like that. So it's just a whole bunch of ridiculousness, man. I think it should be pointed out because you should be held accountable for your words, but at the same time, you shouldn't be crucified. We all make mistakes, you know. Sometimes I act impulsively, then I regret it. So there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, we're not gonna act like he didn't do anything wrong. Like, stop it, bro. No, he definitely talked out the side of his neck, and he got checked for it. That's what happens, you know. And then now you have to apologize because the person you were talking to was the person that's feeding you the money that you want to get. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it behooves you to handle things like a man, and what a man would have did was address it privately first, and then once you establish some things, then you come out publicly. You know what I'm saying? But if he's coming out by your own admission and saying, hey man, you know, that was a misunderstanding, then it seems like you jumped the gun, and it seems like you acted prematurely, which is not good. But I don't think it's anything he can't bounce back from. I don't think anybody should kill him for it. But at the same time, I don't think people should act like nothing happened either. You know, we should all be held accountable for our actions. Even WBC president, who I'm looking at right now, Mauricio Suleiman, I called him out when he acted very rashly and acted very in a juvenile fashion when he was so disgruntled and upset that he came out talking about how much money Bivol left on the table, $8 million. So that's not your jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? That's not your authority to do so. That's not even your role in boxing. Why are you making it seem like boxers are ducking under other boxers? Or why are you disclosing the amount of money that a fighter could get for taking a fight or walking away from a fight? That's not your position at all. So, you know, I thought that was very corny, and there's nothing wrong with me calling that out, just like there's nothing wrong with me calling out Shakur, whether you like him or not. He said, finally, we get Shakur versus Zepeda. That fight is perfect for each other. What's good, Jose? He said, I got Zepeda with a brutal robbery. I'm asleep. You can play that BS video again if Oscar said it's happening. So my guy Oscar said that the fight is happening, and my brother Oscar said he calls straight BS.
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
Now, I will say this though, man, in my personal opinion, I also don't trust it. You know, I have my doubts about Shakur versus Zepeda. But the reason why I feel a little bit more confident that this time it will happen is because of the apology. The fact that Shakur walked it back, and it seems like, when if Shakur was going to do that, that means that he must be happy now. You see what I'm saying? Because he is emotional, and same thing with Devin Haney and Teofimo. When they get mad, they retire. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So they are emotional, quite sensitive. So the fact that he apologized, to me, that's a signal that something happened in his favor. You know what I'm saying? And things got back on track. And then and when you couple that with Oscar De La Hoya saying Zepeda and Shakur is on, that lets me know that Shakur Stevenson will finally get what he deserves, and that's his ability to defend his title against a notable opponent, and especially if that opponent has been calling him out and pump faking, called him out after he beat Maxie Hughes, and then when Shakur obliged, he ducked. Zepeda called him out when he beat Giovanni Cabrera. Shakur obliged, he ducked. He called him out after, in between, and around, and before he fought Tevin Farber. Then when Shakur obliged, he ducked. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that this fight is actually happening now, and they're agreed to it, and Oscar saying it's happening, I believe it. All this thing coming around simultaneously, I believe it. But Oscar does have a reputation of lying, especially with Golden Boy fighters when it comes to Shakur, right? Kid Austin pulled out, he ducked Shakur, and then Zepeda has pulled out habitually and ducked Shakur. So if anybody doubts it, I don't knock you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't believe it either until they both in the ring and that first round bell goes ding. But like I said, given the circumstances surrounding it this time, I do believe it, man. And if it doesn't happen, then shame on me. I would never believe another Golden Boy fighter fighting Shakur Stevenson ever again. But Shakur is a champion, and it seems like he's chasing opponents. He shouldn't be doing that, man. So the contenders should want to fight him, especially if you're calling him out. He is a WBC champion. So I think that Zepeda and Kid Austin, but especially Zepeda, should get more negative press, because we knock Shakur for being a boring fighter, being a weak-handed fighter, and all this other stuff. Well, why aren't people lining up to take his belt? The champion isn't in a position to chase anybody. They should be the ones with the targets on their back. That's how it goes, because you want their strap. But these fighters, they act like they want it, but they don't really want it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see if it actually comes into fruition. I believe it'll happen, because I don't think that Oscar wants to disappoint Turkey again, because let's face it, right? When Floyd Kid Austin Schofield pulled out the February 22nd card, you think he just disappointed Golden Boy and Oscar? No, Oscar's probably real bad because he let down Turkey, and Turkey has been funding everything and sponsoring everything and facilitating all these great fights. So I'm sure Oscar was embarrassed because one of his fighters, which represents his brand, let them down. I know, even though we have replacements, Turkey didn't want that, right? You gotta know that that's a business that they're running, and when you can't present the product that you promised, you're gonna be mad and you're gonna be upset, especially if it wasn't of your own doing, and if people were also talking about the pay-per-view sales, because people love the pay-per-view sales. Don't you think it would have did more if Daniel Dubois was healthy? If Shakur Stevenson was fighting Kid Austin Schofield, it probably would have did better. You know what I'm saying? So those are two significant changes. So of course, Oscar De La Hoya, when you factor that in, and then you factor the fact that Oscar De La Hoya has promised Zepeda and Shakur before, I don't know if y'all remember when Serhiy Boachuk was fighting Virgil Ortiz, Turkey and Oscar De La Hoya had this agreement right here, right in front of all of us. Listen to what he says right here, man.
Yes, William Zepeda.
So listen to it.
This only. We want to see Shakur and Zepeda.
So he said not just this only, because he was talking about Terrence Crawford and who was he talking about? Terrence Crawford and potentially Virgil Ortiz at this time. And he said not just this only, we want to see Shakur and Zepeda. And this is what Oscar says.
Yes, William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson on the same card. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, boy, coked up, man. Oh boy, Oscar be coked up. He probably got on the song right now.
On the same card. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Boy on that booger sugar, man. He on that booger sugar, and he got on the thong right now. Shout out to my boy Oscar De La Hoya.
You dumbass.
That's funny as hell, man. But yeah, man. So this fight has been talked about and pump fake with for quite some time and for a long time. So I just think that it's gonna happen right now. Like I said, maybe it's wishful thinking. Maybe I'm just extra hopeful. Maybe I'm putting my my trust in the wrong place. But I do believe it's gonna happen. But if anybody doesn't believe it's gonna happen, I don't blame them. You know, Oscar De La Hoya could only blame himself because of how he's been. You know, how the fight has not been happening. Okay, we got a guy coming out. His name Wuju, like Buju. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's a tough name, man. If y'all watch the WBC Grand Prix, we got a fighter out of China named Wu Ju, Wuju. First name Wu, last name Ju. That's fire. Remind me of Buju. If you listen to reggae Buju Banton, Buju, but it's one word though. Buju. Buju Banton is one of my favorite. That is my favorite reggae artist. You got Wuju coming out, man. Hey, if he's good, man, I'm rocking with Wuju. You know what I'm talking about? Sound like a fighter from Dynasty Warriors. Oh, it's loud. Thank you, Oscar. Woo! I appreciate it, bro. I forgot to turn it down, man. My fault. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. He said, I love the fact that Abdullah called out Kid Cream on my face, Austin and Auntie Uncle saying we send an offer of. Yeah, bro. You know what's crazy about that, bro? I'm not gonna lie, man. Every time I see Floyd Schofield Sr. talking, man, I just want to tell him,
Shut up, bitch.
I'm so over him, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like he's a clown, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like what has he done? Like that's the thing. When's the last time we talked about Schofield Sr. for doing something in the ring? Not sorry, Kid Austin Schofield Jr. for doing something in the ring. Like it's not even about boxing anymore. It's just about the man and his drama, bro. Like I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you the last time we talked about him for what happened in the ring. It's not Kid Austin's fault, you know, but it is. That's your daddy. That's your team. So you look bad. And last time we talked about Kid Austin Schofield or Floyd Schofield Sr. is because you ducking, you dying in Saudi Arabia pretending to be sick. You know what I'm saying? You talk about cream on your face. You talk about your passport sabotage. You talk about your tire punctured. You have that domestic violence issue that I don't talk about because none of my business. But yeah, you're on a video recording in a domestic violence situation. And before that, you talking about how you whooped on Tank and sparring, how you whooped on Devin, how you whooped on Shakur. And then remember one time I saluted you because I was like, okay, at least he's honest. He was like, Shakur made a Kid Austin defecate on himself, you know what I'm saying, because his stomach was upset or something like that in sparring. But you know, it's just you say that you wanted Zepeda didn't want to fight you. Like, bro, it's like nothing for boxing. Like you just all talk, bro. I ain't got time for that, dude, man. Yeah, I knew about the 1.1 million, but how you said you want 2.2 million, but then now you talk about you send an offer for 1 million for Abdullah Mace. You just told the whole world you wanted 2.5. You know what I'm saying? So we're not trying to hear that, bro. You always got something going on, man. Let us know when you fighting, bro. That's what we want to hear about, man. Let us know when you fighting. If not, I don't want to hear nothing from you because right now you look like
Nigga, you's a bitch.
that's what you look like. You know what I'm saying? That's what you look like, bro. So it is what it is, man. Oscar told everybody, so what if I was wearing a thong? You guys should try it sometime. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, man. He said Oscar said he thinks Ryan beats Boots. We know Oscar likes to lie. Hey, I'm not mad at that, though, man. That's like I said, I don't like Ryan Garcia. But I will say this, though, you know, I got to give credit where credit is due. He does seem like he'll fight anybody. You know, he's one of the ones that would fight anybody. And now we know that it's probably because he has something up his sleeve or in his arm, you know, in his bloodstream, rather, with the ostarine. But, you know, if he's going to fight people, hey, I love it, man. Do I think he beats Boots? Hell no. Do I think he beats any high caliber fighter? No. And it's so funny because I told people this when the fight was happening. I think that Devin Haney is the only one that he beats. You know, like obviously he didn't beat Tank. I thought that Tank would beat him, and that's what happened. I think Teofimo would beat him as long as they're the same size. You know what I'm saying? Now Ryan Garcia is a big guy now, so if he significantly outweighs them and he outsizes them, of course he'll have a better chance. But as far as them making weight at 140 and 135, I don't think he beats any of them except for Devin Haney because stylistically I thought that was a good matchup. That's why I bet on Ryan Garcia. However, I didn't anticipate anybody to cheat, and I like boxing. So if you're a boxing fan, if you looking past somebody cheating, then you're just a dummy, in my opinion. Yeah, I think you're nothing short of gosh dang a stupid hoe. I I don't think PEDs should be overlooked, especially because you don't understand them, especially if you never tried to understand them before until they came to this situation. If you never tried to understand what ostarine does or steroids do or PEDs do, and all of a sudden now you call yourself an expert and you know how it affects you and you're worried about how it affects you. What about when the ostarine was in Amir Khan's system? Did you try to analyze how well ostarine impacts the body, or what it does to the body, or if it influences the body? Did you analyze it then, or you didn't care then? It was enough for you to call Amir Khan a cheater, right? When it came to Clenbuterol and Canelo, it was enough for you to call Canelo a cheater. When it came to Alicia Baumgartner, whatever substance she had in her system, it was enough for you to call her a cheater, right? Ostarine again with Alexander Povetkin, he just got 10 years ban, and all of his wins wiped clean for the last 10 years. And ostarine was one of the substances that he got banned for, but you didn't care then. But all of a sudden now you're an expert, you're a toxicology expert, and you know how these things work, and anabolic steroid expert and all this other stuff, man. Shut up. Shut up, man. The man had PEDs in the system. That's good enough for me. If it was detected, that means it surpassed the threshold that's allowable. The allowable limit has been surpassed by 60 times worth. It was definitely a significant amount. In fact, Amir Khan got 2 years, and Ryan Garcia was something like, I think it was like something like 5 times the amount that Amir Khan had in his system, and he got 2 years. So people just be talking out the side of their neck, and when you talk out the side of your neck, you deserve to get checked. You know what I'm saying? No matter who you are. So, yeah, PEDs definitely mean something. You know, it means something in baseball. It means something in track. It means something in swimming. It means something in golf. So it definitely means something in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like Devin Haney or like Ryan Garcia, it doesn't matter who you like or dislike. Get out your freaking feelings. Just like a little 13-year-old adolescent little bitch. I ain't gonna lie, man. A lot of these boxing fans that call themselves men, yeah, like walk around and talk like a bunch of bitches. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like stuff that gets questioned shouldn't be questioned at all. You see what I'm saying? Stuff that gets questioned shouldn't be questioned at all. You know, all of a sudden now we're questioning the protocols of the testing. We're questioning the integrity of the testing. Like, bro, you just like Ryan Garcia does not know you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You a groupie. The fact that you're a groupie of a man you don't know is very disturbing. Whole ass brothers, man. Whole asses. Has nothing to do. It's bigger than liking or disliking Ryan Garcia or liking or disliking Devin Haney. It's about keeping the integrity and the purity and the sanctity of the sport. You feel me? Yes, sir. He said, Bisterolone was found in Alicia. Okay, yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't remember. Don't really care. You know, Alicia took it to court and she appealed it and she won. Canelo took it to court, he appealed it, he won. So mistakes do happen, but when you go about it like Ryan Garcia and you try to blame your strength and conditioning coach, you try to blame outside sources, you try to blame Devin Haney's camp. I mean, what's the difference between what Ryan Garcia did and what Kid Austin did? Kid Austin blames Shakur for sabotaging his son. That's exactly what Ryan did. Ryan tried to say, oh, his brother planted it on him. Devin Haney and his camp planted it on him. You know, he said that. Then he said, oh, was it his scooter, his trainer did it. Then he said it was ashwagandha did it. Then he said it was a neutral bio supplement did it. Then he said it could have been on his toothpaste. Then he said his auntie could have crept in his room and put it on his breakfast sandwich. You know, he said all types of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he blamed everybody and everything. He did everything except appeal it. He did everything but try to prove his innocence. Yeah, so that's what Canelo did. You know, I'm not oblivious to mistakes. We can all make mistakes, and cross-contamination does exist, but you would try to prove it like Canelo did. You would try to prove it like Alicia Baumgartner did. You know what I'm saying? So that means something too. That's why I don't hold it against Alicia Baumgartner, and I definitely don't hold it against my boy Cinnamon. You know? It was cross-contamination. Now, whether you want to believe, it's so funny that people will question that, though. They'll be like, oh, man, you know, it's because Canelo paid off the judges and all this other stuff. But, you know, they'll question all this other stuff and make up all this other stuff and have these conspiracy theories. But the stuff that's proven right in front of you, even to a quantitative amount of the ostarine, you know what I'm saying, 6 nanograms per milliliter, which is 60 times the allowable limit, the threshold, you know, they still question that. It's crazy, bro. That's the problems with boxing. We glorify Ryan for beating Devin, but ignore the fact that he was on PEDs. Boxing, yeah, boxing is ridiculous, bro. Yeah, boxing is crazy, man. You know, and we're mad at Devin for being cheated. It's wild, bro. Boxing is a crazy place, bro. Boxing is a wild place, man. I don't care if you are Hispanic or Mexican or American or black or white or brown, or whatever. It has nothing to do with call it something for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just call it for what it is. A man cheated. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. You know, it's just like Gervonta Tank Davis, whether I like him or not. The man took a knee and he got away with not having a point deduction. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He should have had his points deducted. Whether I like him or not, he still should have his points deducted, but it's not his fault though. You know, it's the referee's fault. The referee missed a call. Hey, give me a second, chat. Let me blow my nose real quick. Let me blow my nose real quick. I'm gonna mute my mic so y'all ain't gotta hear it. I muted my mic, but I forgot to turn off my camera. My bad. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. My fault, y'all. Yes, sir. My bad about that. But yeah, man, I just think that boxing, as fans, we got to be more responsible too, man. We gotta stop going with the nonsense, man. That's a problem right there. A lot of us will just go with the nonsense based on who we like and who we dislike, and that's corny in itself. You feel me? But yeah, man, I look forward to this rematch, man. Speaking of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, man, I think it's gonna be a pretty good fight, bro. Like maybe it's just because the boxing fan in me, but I think that, man, don't forget to smack that like button. I think that Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, man, I'm kind of excited for that fight, man. Like, you know, I like Rolly, but I've always been a Rolly fan. Rollies. I've always been a Rolly fan, so you know what I'm saying? I wish he was better. He's kind of like Adrian Broner, you know? Adrian Broner got on my nerves. I thought he talked too much, you know? He was a little ridiculous. But that Can Man stuff was hilarious, right? And so if Adrian Broner was better, oh, man, I would really like Adrian Broner. Same with Rolly, man. Rolly be talking his behind off. He got the gift of gab. If he was better, then it would be so much better for boxing, man, because he would be his skills don't match his personality. You know, his skills aren't as high. His skills in the boxing ring doesn't match the skills of his mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But yeah, I'd be rooting for Rolly, man. I like Rolly Romero, and I think that he's gonna.
No, did he?
I think he's gonna put up a good fight, you know, while it lasts. I think Ryan Garcia is gonna win, but man, I'm hoping Rolly does some good stuff in there, man. I hope Rolly. I'm rooting for Rolly for real. I don't think he's gonna beat Ryan Garcia, but I think it's gonna be a better fight than what we think, you know. And if not, it's gonna be exciting. You know, somebody's getting stopped. We know that's not going the distance, and I just think it's gonna be Rolly that gets stopped. And then Devin Haney and Jose Carlos Ramirez. I think that's a good fight too, because Ramirez, I like him, and he's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? He only has 2 losses, right? His last loss came to Arnold Barbosa. He's looking to bounce back, and then his loss before that was to Josh Taylor when Josh Taylor was still on top. And so those aren't bad losses, and I think that he's going to give a good challenge to Devin Haney, man. And I think that people shouldn't overlook this fight either. If Devin Haney makes it look easy, I don't want anybody to not give him his full credit. And if Ramirez makes Devin Haney look bad and make it look like, okay, he's actually done, then we got to give Ramirez his credit as well. So I think that's a good fight, man. And Teofimo Lopez and Barbosa, I don't like Teofimo either, but I think that's a good fight as well, man. I'm rooting for Barbosa, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Barbosa, he's been on a hell of a run. Dang, I gotta blow my nose again, man. Give me a second. Barbosa has been on a hell of a run, right? Barbosa has beat what? He beat Jack Catterall. He beat Jose Carlos Ramirez. Now, I will say this, though. He got away with one against Sean McComb. He should have lost that. That was actually coincidentally on the undercard of Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So now Barbosa is sharing the car with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney again, and he's not fighting them. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of funny. But he definitely lost that fight against that Irishman. But, you know, he won. It's not his fault, you know. Judges judge, fighters fight. And that was a tough fight for him. I thought he lost it. But other than that, you know, his win against his win against Jose Carlos Ramirez and Jack Catterall were good wins, man. El Gato the Cat. So Teofimo, he's been looking shaky as well. He fought, who'd he beat? Steve Claggett was his last fight, right? And then who was before that? Jermaine Ortiz. That was one of the worst fights I ever seen in boxing. So if you ask me the last two fights, he has better opposition and he's looked better. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo, he looked shaky against Steve Claggett and he looked terrible against Jermaine Ortiz. Even though I'm glad he won, because Jermaine Ortiz, I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't trying to fight at all. He was just trying to be on his bicycle the whole time. That was terrible, man. And I like Jermaine Ortiz too, but that was a terrible performance. One of the worst performances I've seen. I think Teofimo and Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz was right up there with freaking Shakur Stevenson and Edward De Los Santos. Those are the two worst fights I've probably ever seen in a long time. You know, Chris William Smith and Richard Riakporhe, that was a terrible fight as well. I remember the bad ones, man. Oh, man. But, you know, it is what it is. Looking forward to that. Was that May 3rd or May 4th? May 2nd. That's May 2nd, right? May 2nd is that card. And then May 3rd is William Skull and Canelo. And then May 4th is Cardenas and Inoue. So I mean Inoue versus Cardenas, Canelo versus Skull. And you know, so we got some good boxing coming up, man. We got some good boxing coming up, man. Right now I'm watching this World Boxing Grand Prix, WBC Boxing Grand Prix. We got Wuju versus Garcia. These boys are fighting, man. Wuju trying to throw some counter punches. Oof. Nice right hand for Wuju. Into a left hand as Garcia's coming in. Garcia is definitely pressing the issue. Nice left hook from Garcia. Has Wuju covering up. Now he's trying to clinch. Both of these fighters, I think, have one defeat on their record. So neither one of them are undefeated. But I like that too. I like the fact that they don't have to be undefeated, you know what I'm saying, to be in this Grand Prix. So, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can have a bad night, man. It's just one night. Ooh, that was a nice right check hook as Garcia was coming in from Wuju. Garcia was, he barely phased by it, though. He's right back at it. Double jab from Garcia. Pushing Wuju back against the ropes. Wuju pushes him off of him. 30-second clock. I do not like that 30-second horn, man. I don't like that, bro. I do like that this fact that it's open scoring, and I do like the competition, and I do like the intensity. I do not like that freaking 30-second horn, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would like to see if they did like a survey or you know, they do like a little survey or questionnaire asking the fighters, you know, not just the fans and stuff like that, the observers, but actually ask the fighters and ask the fighters if they like it and see what their responses are. I guarantee you that they don't like it. I don't even know why they added that. That's nonsense. That joke is nonsense, man. I don't even know why they added that joke. It's just something else to listen out for that'll throw you off. Keep the 10-second clapper, turn off that gosh dang 30-second horn, and that's it. Keep it popping. Everything don't need to be changed, man. That was that left hook right there that I was talking about. And Garcia just shook it off and kept walking forward. Yo, we got Real Talk Combat. What's good? He said, badass week of the boxing coming up, Cinco de Mayo. Yes, sir. Yeah. Cinco de Mayo, man. Yes, sir, man. May 5th, always popping, man. Shout out to my boy Cinnamon, man. Face of boxing, man. He always holds it down. Now he's just going to hold it down in Riyadh. He's going to hold it down out of town, but he's still holding it down, man. Taking on William Skull, undefeated Cuban fighter, champion, you know, IBF champion for the 168 division. My boy Cinnamon's trying to reclaim undisputed. Now, he's going to be a 2-time undisputed, but it's different, right? It's not as impressive as being 2 times undisputed in 2 different weight classes like Terrence Bud Crawford, Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk. But at the same time, being undisputed twice is still impressive, right? It's like Clarissa Shields, right? Clarissa Shields is 4-time undisputed, 2 times in 1 division. So she's 4 times undisputed, but in 3 divisions. You know, one of the divisions she was undisputed twice. That's very impressive. So, but when you compare, you know, when you got to bring out that microscope, when you're talking about greats, You know, then you gotta. I think there is a. I think it's more impressive to be undisputed in 2 different weight classes than it is to be undisputed twice in the same weight class. But that's still also impressive as well. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Canelo. You know, that's my favorite fighter. Canelo and Tank and Gervonta Tank Davis, Saul Canelo Alvarez, and Junto Nakatani. Those are my 3 favorite fighters. I got a lot of favorite fighters. You know, Caleb Plant, Terrence Crawford. I got a lot of fighters I like a lot, but those 3 right there are my 3 favorite right now. But I hope William Skull has a good showing, man. I hope he represents himself well. If William Skull gets the upset, hey, he gets the upset. Shout out to William Skull, man. You know, undefeated fighter, doesn't know how to lose. He's a champion. Hey, shout out to him. You know, I think it's gonna be a tough fight. I think people are underestimating how good he is just because they don't know him. You gotta do your research, man. I think he's decent. I don't think he's gonna beat Cinnamon, but I think he's decent. I think it's gonna be a decent fight. I think Canelo's gonna overwhelm him. Yeah, I think he's gonna download him and overwhelm him late. He said that Grand Prix has some good fighters I ain't never seen or heard of. Yeah, I ain't never heard of. Yeah, facts. I ain't never heard of. I don't think I've heard of one fighter yet. You know, we're not supposed to, right? They're up and comers. He said, wait, so how's that gonna work? Is Canelo gonna be fighting in the middle of the day? Yes, sir. He gonna be up in the morning while you're yawning. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, not in the morning, but a second. Let me blow my nose. He won't be fighting in the morning, but it'd be like at 2 o'clock. My bad, y'all. Yeah, he's gonna be fighting at like 2 o'clock, I think. Let me double check Real Combat. But usually the Riyadh season events are like 2 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern Standard. I don't know where you're at, but Eastern Standard time. Usually it's around like 2 p.m. Oh no. Oh no, they're keeping it the same time. Oh, let's go. No, chat. So, hey, man, one time for Cinnamon, man. Shout out to that boy Cinnamon, man. He's keeping it the same time as his normal time in the U.S. I forgot he did say that. He said that at the press conference, didn't he? He did. They did say that. It's going to be the same time. Shout out to that boy Cinnamon, man.
Eso, sí. Tú vas a mamar el bicho. Tú vas a mamar
I forgot. Yeah, so it's at 11. So it's going to be the same time. It's just that it's going to be different for him because it's going to be 6 o'clock in Saudi Arabia time. So they're fighting at 6 in the morning in Saudi Arabia. That's crazy. I forgot. I just watched a little interview by him last night on The Ring, and he said that too. I forgot. He was like, yeah, I got to get accustomed to fighting at 6 o'clock in the morning. So he's going to be sparring at 6 a.m. I forgot he did say that. So can't nobody complain, man. Ain't nothing changed. It's just that you won't be there, you know. And the people that are complaining the most, they don't go to fights anyway. Yeah, so he's fighting at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm different though than most. I don't mind the fights being at 2 o'clock, man. And then you get the night to yourself, so I don't mind it, bro. But I'm cool with it being the regular time too. Yeah, so he's fighting at 6 a.m. in Saudi Arabia time. So on U.S. time, Eastern time, it'll be 11 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific time. So, yeah, man, face a boxing type things. Talk to him. He said, I've seen people downplaying both undisputed Canelo versus Skull at Usyk versus Triple D. Like, how is this bad for the sport? People are silly, bro. People are dumb, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, people just want, like, that's the thing about Twitter. That's why Twitter, I don't like Twitter. You know, I'll be honest sometimes, just to try to build try to build the stream and build the social media presence of the stream, you know what I'm saying? My social media presence. But I can't stand Twitter, man. Too many people have opinions. Everybody should have an opinion. If you're dumb, you shouldn't have an opinion. I'm not saying that you can't be, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying you can't watch Usyk versus Parker or Dubois versus Caballel or something like that. But to make it seem like an undisputed fight is a bad fight, you're dumb. I'm sorry. It is what it is, man. There's no way an undisputed fight could ever be a bad fight. So Usyk, I don't care. Usyk versus Dubois. We've seen it before with the rematch, and it was controversial. You know what I'm saying? The first match was controversial, so you should want to see Usyk versus Dubois anyway. You know what I'm saying? But then now you compound that they're getting a rematch in addition to being for undisputed potentially. Then I don't see how that's a bad fight at all. and then William Skull versus Canelo Alvarez. Is like, bro, you're not gonna know everybody, especially if you don't watch boxing. Like, how do you think stars become stars? You know, if you only watch the stars, then you should be accustomed to not knowing everybody. You feel me? Because you didn't know the star, even Canelo, you probably didn't know him until he fought Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Because you probably just don't watch boxing like that. So why are you complaining about not knowing a guy? Do you know everybody? You feel me? So look how many people didn't know Lamont Roach. He's a champion, you know? So before he fought Tank. He said, at the end of the day, $89.99 just face of boxing prices. PBC stay trying to emulate that. He said, I don't have a problem with he said I'm low-key upset at Turkey. He lied and said he was gonna make pay-per-views affordable. I already paid $89.99 with PBC. I ain't trying to pay with the zone. I feel you on that now. I mean, so I'm not justifying the $89.99 or whatever it is. I think it's $82 for the bundle. I think it's like $59.99 each for the May 2nd card and the May 3rd card, you know, with Canelo and Ryan and Devin in them. But if you get a bundle, it's like 82. I'm not justifying that. I do agree with what Isaiah said, you know, with Turkey Al-Sheikh. He did promise. He was like, yeah, man. But he said he wants to get it down to a $25 price point. But hey, man, he gotta make that money up, man. He said, hey, man, I'm paying Cinnamon a whole lot of bread. You feel me? You know, hey, they busting my head right now. I'm paying Cinnamon, I'm paying Ryan, I'm paying Devin, you know. Maybe I gotta recuperate some money, you know. Like Real Combat said, you know, the $80 price is for Tank, but I'm not mad at that either, you know. Don't get it twisted, bro. PBC wants to make money, just like Matchroom wants to make money, just like DAZN wants to make money, just like Golden Boy wants to make money. If they had Tank, they would do the same thing. So Tank is a big name in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua is a big name in boxing. Canelo is the biggest name in boxing. Canelo also is at $80-something price point. So it's not that it's not justified. It's justified. Do I like it? No, because it costs a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be free. But Gervonta Tank Davis, if you look at the money that he generates, is definitely justified. And if we don't want them to charge that much, then, you know, we got to stop buying it at that price point. But I don't think people will, because Gervonta Tank Davis is somebody that people want to see. It is what it is. So I don't think it's unjustifiable. If it was unjustifiable, they wouldn't do it. So, you know, it is what it is. But at the same time, yeah, I think Turkey, it should be said that people weren't expecting this. At least I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was gonna be $20, you know, but it's not. So it is what it is, man. You know, in Turkey, he definitely did say he wanted it to be $20 for pay-per-views, and this is what ain't $20. It's double that for each one, back to back, consecutively. $50 for the guys named Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo joint, and $50 for the Canelo joint. The only gripe people have Canelo is David Benavidez. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for him, Canelo would still be doing the same thing. There's nobody else to fight. I agree. I think PBC had a great layout, and they always make an ROI in all the events they put on. Al is a true businessman. I agree. Yeah, they always make their return on investment. That's what ROI is, for those that don't know. Yeah, they always. I don't have the problem with PBC. They always make their return on investment. They have a different business model, right? They put on less cards, less frequently, but their cards are more stacked. And then Matchroom, they put on more cards, but their cards are less stacked. You know what I'm saying? So there's just different business models, and they both seem to be working for them. That's why they all last. Anybody that's saying otherwise, they're just rooting for PBC to die. I mean, I've never seen a company dying for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Wu-Ju won this thing, man. He improved to 15-1-2. Wu-Ju takes the victory. You know, Matchroom, PBC, Top Rank, they all have their problems. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Top Rank just lost their ESPN deal. Hey, Wu-Ju just hit a backflip. Let's get right. I got to work on my backflips, chat. If PBC lost their deal, they would say PBC's dying, right? It's just so crazy. People pick and choose when they say something. It's crazy. My boy Wu-Ju hit the Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Tank Davis backflip. Oh, he ain't land that thing, but he ain't stick the landing, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, he did some rounds, man. He a little tired. He bleeding and stuff like that. We gonna give him a pass for not sticking the landing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wu-Ju. But he said he has, though. I'm cool with the prices before we pay 120. Talk to him. That's true, Oscar. And he has brought the prices down, right? The February 22nd card, which I bought with headline by the last Crescendo, Bivol Beterbiev rematch. That was $26. What was the Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois? That was like $22. You know what I'm saying? So he has pretty much done so. It's just this time he said, hey, man, I got Canelo, man. I got to get some of this money back. So we'll see if it works out, man. You know, I think Turkey has been doing his thing. But people will complain because that's the promise that he gave. You know, so people are going to hold you to that. And you should be held to your word. You know what I'm saying? Same thing we just talked about with Shakur thing. So you should always be held to your word. I don't think you should kill somebody. People make mistakes. We're all human. But yeah, you should be held to your word. That's what he said. So I don't mind anybody being disappointed. But at the same time, we got to realize, too, that $52 for a Canelo fight is still cheap. $52 for Canelo is still cheap now. You know what I'm saying? That's a price cut. And then if you get the bundle, you get both those days for the price that you would get for one of those days. So like Real Combat said, you know, the $80 bundle price is still a Tank Davis card price. So I mean, it's up to you what you value. If you want to see it, then you know, do what you gotta do. If not, then hey, I don't think there's no shame in not wanting to pay it either. Yo, we got my boy Al Booger in the building, big member in the building. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with being, yeah, that's a lot of money, man. That's why boxing is, you know, hey, boxing be taxing now. He said, 89 is a good deal with PBC. You be paid for 89 for both, as opposed to 89 for 2 days of boxing cards. Definitely a solid deal. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Canelo, yes. So PBC, you'll be paying for Canelo $89. I don't know about. That's the thing, man. You got like, we say that Ryan Garcia is a pay-per-view star. Ryan Garcia has only been on pay-per-view twice. He's been on pay-per-view with Gervonta Tank Davis, and he's been on pay-per-view with Devin Haney. So the fact that he's fighting Rolly Romero, is Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, since everybody's calling that the main event, right? Let's go by the main event. Has Rolly ever been on pay-per-view? One time, right, with Tank, right? That's it. So I'm not sure Ryan Garcia versus Rolly would be a pay-per-view. I'm not sure about that. It has a lot of star power, but we're calling Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero the main event, right? I'm not sure Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero is a pay-per-view fight. On whether it's Matchroom, whether it's Top Rank, whether it's Golden Boy, whether it's PBC, whoever, or whether it's Queensberry, I'm not sure that's a pay-per-view fight. I don't think it's a pay-per-view fight, to be honest. I think you have a better argument for Devin Haney versus Jose Carlos Ramirez being a pay-per-view than Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. That's the thing. I don't know. People have like selective. I don't know. They're very selective with their analysis, observations. Ryan Garcia is not a pay-per-view fighter. He's a pay-per-view co-host, if you will. Unless Ryan Garcia is fighting Tank or Devin or somebody that's also a pay-per-view star, he's not going to be on pay-per-view. Gervonta Tank Davis is a pay-per-view star because anybody he fights is on pay-per-view, right? Whether he's fighting Frank the Ghost Martin or Lamont Roach, or if he's fighting Hector Garcia or Leo Santa Cruz, he's on pay-per-view, right? Canelo's the same way, right? Anthony Joshua's the same way. That's why they're the biggest stars, right? With Canelo being the biggest, right? No, it's them. They're the pay-per-view star. Who they're fighting is the side piece, you know. So Ryan Garcia he's been a side piece. Devin is a bigger pay-per-view star than Ryan. Yeah, facts. Yeah, so Ryan. That's why I'm not sure about Ryan being on pay-per-view. Chris Arreola versus Andrew Ruiz wasn't pay-per-view worthy, but PBC would absolutely make that a pay-per-view. That's a good point. That's a good point. I can't see or enjoy the Friday fight. I get off of work at 6. Ooh, dang, Isaiah, where you at, bro? Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's like Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant's last fight was that pay-per-view? I don't know, was it? No, Caleb Plant was also on the Canelo cards. Exactly right there. So they made bigger cards, right? Caleb Plant, well, Trevor McCumbee, that was on the Canelo card, correct? I think so. Was that? Yeah, I think that was on the Canelo card. But Caleb Plant, his next fight is gonna be on the that's not pay-per-view, right? His next fight's not pay-per-view. Who was the last? David Benavidez is a pay-per-view, right? He just became pay-per-view with David Morrell, right? That was his first time on pay-per-view, I think. Yeah, I think PBC right now only has 2 pay-per-view stars. I don't think that they have. Let me think. Gervonta Tank Davis, and then I think Dave Benavidez is coming up as a pay-per-view star. Am I missing anybody? And then I would say Batroom has one pay-per-view star, Anthony Joshua. I think Boots' next fight may be pay-per-view. Not well, let me not say his next fight. If he's fighting Shakram Gearshoff, I don't think it'll be pay-per-view. But if he fights Brian Norman, I think that might be pay-per-view. So I think Jerron Boots Ennis could potentially become a pay-per-view star for Matchroom. So I'll say what? Matchroom has what? Boots and I'm not gonna say Boots, not yet until he's on it. But let's say Anthony Joshua, right? Shakur Stevenson, maybe if Shakur Stevenson is fighting Tank, he'll be on pay-per-view. If Shakur Stevenson is fighting Teofimo, that might be pay-per-view. If he's fighting, I don't know, maybe even Keyshawn Davis, they could put that on pay-per-view. But he's not a pay-per-view star yet either. So yeah, so they have Anthony Joshua. Queensberry, who's their pay-per-view star? Tyson Fury? Yeah, probably just Tyson Fury, and he's retired. Top Rank, they don't really have a pay-per-view star. Keyshawn Davis he's up and coming, but he's not pay-per-view yet. Who else? Oh, Lomachenko, maybe. Depends on who he's fighting. Lomachenko and Tank would be pay-per-view. I don't think Lomachenko and Shakur might be. So yeah, Golden Boy, they don't have any, right? Maybe Virgil Ortiz, but he hasn't been on pay-per-view yet. But he's an up and coming. I definitely don't think Ryan Garcia is a pay-per-view star. I think people try to act like he is, but he's not. Yeah, so it is what it is. Both overpaying boxers, and it's a problem on both sides because then those boxers won't take pay cuts when the time comes to smaller fights. I don't think it's a problem. I mean, if it's a problem, they wouldn't do it. If it's a problem, they'll be out of business. I think people try to make PBC. I don't know what it is again. What it is with PBC and people's opinion on them. Like people want them to die. I don't think it's a problem at all. If it was a problem, they wouldn't survive. If it was a problem, you gotta understand. Canelo just came from PBC, right? So if it was a problem and they weren't making it, then they would be shut down. Oh, big right hook. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, he felt that one. I think people try to make it seem like it's a problem, but it's not. I mean, people are paying for the Tank fights. Everybody was complaining about the Tank fight and Lamont Roach, and people still paid for it. So if it was these are business folks, man. So if they weren't making their bottom line, then they wouldn't do it. They would switch it up. So the ones that's having a problem right now is Top Rank. They lost their ESPN deal, right? I haven't seen Amazon leave. I mean, I'm not saying PBC is gonna be with Amazon forever, but you know, people switch broadcasting deals all the time. I don't think it's an issue at all. I don't want to pay nothing for fights, of course. If you say the issue for the consumer, then of course, anytime we pay is a problem, but for our pockets, but it's not a problem economically and financially. They're still popping. Tell me a card that did better than the Tank versus Roach. The only one that you could say is a freaking one that's backed by Turkey, and that's a phenomenal card of February 22nd. And that barely did better than Tank versus Roach. So is it a problem, or is it just that we perceive it as a problem, so we speak on that like it is? I don't think it's a... Yo, Styles, get out, bro. Nah. Somebody toss out Styles, man. Nah, somebody give Styles a boot. Styles said, he said, y'all dressing up and stuff today, or y'all wait until Sunday, bro? Stop it, bro. Don't, please, bro. Come on, man. My boy said, what is Easter? He said, oh, that's the holiday where black people dress up. Come on, man. I don't know what's wrong with people on the internet, man. BBC switched broadcasters about 5-6 times at the time. Top Race switched one time. But yeah, I mean, so they're switching, right? So they switched. So one of the times you talk about Showtime, right? So Showtime, is Showtime still around? So is that really a problem on boxing? Is it a problem with the promotional company putting it on, or is it a problem with the network? Showtime dropped boxing. You see what I'm saying? So switching networks is not a problem either, right? I mean, Queensberry's with DAZN now. Queensberry wasn't always with DAZN. So these boxing companies, they switch networks. That's the point. And even if you switch a lot of times, I could say that, hey, they're getting more desirable deals. I mean, you know, so whether you go for BOK Prime, or you go to HBO, or you go to Showtime, or you go to Amazon, or you go to Netflix, or you go to ESPN, or you go to DAZN, that means that you have a product that's desirable. So I don't see, like I said, I don't see the issue, man. I don't know. It's not like they had to make their own network to put it on, you know. So everything's switching. I mean, what a call. Hell, look at the great show freaking NBA Inside the NBA with Chuck, Ernie, Kenny, and Shaq. They're leaving, going to ESPN. Does that mean that TNT's dying? You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know, man. But I just never see this type of energy for any type of issue. Like when PBC, I saw, like I said the other day, Stanionis lost to Jerron Boots Ennis, suffered his first loss, and he's having a baby, right? And he said that he might consider retiring. Somebody said, "Oh, Stanionis retiring after his first loss is just indicative and a testament." I'm trying to think what they said verbatim. I don't remember what they said, but anyway, in a nutshell, they said Stanionis thinking about retiring after his first loss is a testament to PBC dying. What? So a guy who just suffered his first loss of his career, probably devastated, and he missed the birth of his child in order to have a fight in which he lost. That means PBC is dying?
What?
So let me ask you this. So when Callum Smith lost to Beterbiev and he said, hey, man, I'm going to retire. And obviously he didn't retire because he came back and fought Joshua Buatsi, but he announced his retirement. I didn't hear anybody say Matchroom is dying because Callum Smith was contemplating retirement. That's what I'm talking about. People just be reaching, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you show me if PBC dies and it goes down, okay, bet. You know, I'm still going to watch boxing regardless. But when Golden Boy lost Jaime Munguia to Top Rank, I didn't hear anybody say Golden Boy's dying. But if every time PBC loses a fighter, who they lose? They lost, Michelle Rivera, and they said PBC's dying. Who the heck is Michelle Rivera? No disrespect to Michelle Rivera. I like Michelle Rivera. You know what I'm saying? The Muhammad Ali reincarnate as far as the resemblance goes. But it's like people look for excuses as to why PBC is dying. You know, charging $89 for a pay-per-view event means you're dying. So I guess Turkey's dying too because he's charging $89, even whether it's for 2 events or 3 events. Does that mean that Turkey and Al Sheikh and Riyadh season is dying because they're charging $89 for a pay-per-view event? What are we talking about, bro? So if you want to see something, you're gonna see it. You see what I'm saying? If you want to see something, if you're looking for something, you're gonna find it. So, but that doesn't mean it's real. Like I said, I have no loyal people, and it's so funny when I say things like this and I have this discussion. People say, "Oh, you just love PBC." Bitch, I love boxing. I don't want Golden Boy to die. I don't want PBC to die because that's less boxing. I don't want Top Rank to die. It's less boxing. I'm not rooting for anybody to die. I'm rooting for boxing to survive, but I'm not going to act like, oh, this is an indicator of it dying when I see the same indications elsewhere. When's the last time you seen what's the name fight? You know, people say, oh, well, you know, their fighters don't fight enough. You know, oh, Caleb Plant doesn't fight enough. Caleb Plant's about to fight again in the summer, and he just fought not too long ago. But anyway, when's the last time we seen quite a few fighters? You know, do we see Tyson Fury a lot? We just saw him twice now because of Riyadh season, but outside of Riyadh season, right? So is everybody that works for Riyadh season, were they on the verge of dying? There's a lot of fighters that we don't see a lot on different promotional companies, but it's just that PBC has their business model is to do less cards, but they're more stacked. Matchroom and Queensberry and Golden Boys, more so Matchroom and Top Rank, their business model is to do more cards but less stacked. You know, I don't know. I mean, to each his own, man. You know, the only thing haven't seen for PBC is signing newer, younger talent for the next crop of fighters. I mean, Jonas Tellis is young. Jonas Tellis is just as young as Charles Conwell, just as young as Xander Zayas. In fact, they're all in the same division. Xander Zayas is with Top Rank, Jonas Tellis is with PBC, and Charles Conwell's with Golden Boy. All 3 of them are young, right? So I don't think that's true either. I mean, is it true? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just the top of my head, you know? And so we could also say Top Rank doesn't have the stars that PBC has, right? David Benavidez with PBC. I never heard him complain, all right? We don't see Beterbiev that often. He's with Top Rank. No one says that Top Rank is dying because we don't see Beterbiev. We say, oh, it's because Beterbiev is cycling off PEDs or whatever the accusations are, or he's coming off an injury or whatever. So I don't know, man. I mean, like I say, if you want to see something, we can see it. If you don't want to see something, you also won't see it, you know. Who I want to check about. Jonas Tellis? You don't know Jonas Tellis? 154-pound fighter. He's an interim champion right now. Is he from Cuba? No. He's from República de Dominicana. Jonas tells he's an interim champion at 154 right now. I don't know how the heck he got an interim championship belt, but he's a WBA interim champion? I believe WBA interim champion. BBC has shown me in 2025 that they're doing just fine. Talk to him, Al Booger. He said, and that's a great thing. I wasn't sure what the hell was going on in 2024. It wasn't looking good going into 2025. Right. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it all looks peachy and cream, but what I'm saying is that people are, to me, this is my opinion now. You know, I don't have their books to justify my opinion either, but I just want to be very clear that people, if I don't have the books, you also don't have the books. The people that are saying PBC's dying, they don't have any insight on the books either. They're just going off what they observe, and they're exaggerating everything that they observe, in my opinion. And maybe I'm downplaying everything that I observe. But I also, my rebuttal is to give them similar examples of other promotional companies going through the same thing, and they're not hollering about their dying. So what did PBC do to make people feel like this? Like I said, I don't know if Al Heyman is banging somebody auntie or their great grandmama. I don't know what it is, you know, or maybe they daddy. I don't know, you know, no discrimination when it comes to sexual preferences, whatever it is. Maybe Al Heyman fucking on somebody auntie or something. I don't know. But they don't like him. Like, I don't, you know. But he said, Bam hasn't fought in a minute. Yeah, Bam Rodriguez is a big star. When has Bam Rodriguez fought? He's a young guy. He's what, 24 years old? We should see him as often as freaking Abdullah Mason or something like that. You know, we don't. I don't think Batroop is dying because of that. It's just that, hey, sometimes the divisions don't allow for you to get these fights. I mean, when's the last time we seen MJ Akhmadaliev? If he's with Matchroom, does that mean that Matchroom's dying? No, it means that if you look into it, you know that MJ Akhmadaliev is trying to get Naya Inoue, and they're not getting the fight, so it's harder for them to get fights. So sometimes things are situational. And I agree that 2024 didn't look the best for PBC, and I'm not saying that they're not signs that they may be struggling, but I don't have the books, and sometimes fighters or companies go through lulls. I mean, that's what companies do. They have the times when they meet their fiscal year. They have times when they don't meet their fiscal year. They have ups and downs, you know, peaks and valleys. So I don't know, man. I just don't go out my way to. Like I said, if PBC died tomorrow, hey, shout out to everybody who said they died. And you're right. But if what they say, a broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I'm saying? If you keep saying, I'm not talking about you, Real Talk. I'm not talking about you, Real Talk Combat. I'm speaking in general, like Rick Glaser and guys like that. You know, if you consistently say something is dying and you say it 1,000 times over the span of 15 years, and then when PBC finally dies, you be like, oh, see, I told you. No, bitch, you ain't tell me nothing. You just told me that you were wrong 1,000 times, and you just happen to be right. Your efficiency level is garbage. You see what I'm saying? If I continuously say something's going to happen and it continuously does not happen, and then when it finally happened, you take the credit. No, bitch, you was wrong 1,000, 1,500 million times. You just happen to be right once. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. That doesn't mean that you had any insight. It's the opposite. You are terrible at forecasting. You are garbage. You need to stop. PBC been dying for 2 decades. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy, bro. But as soon as it happens, they're going to be, oh, yeah, man, I told you. See, I told you it was not. No, you did not tell me nothing. Because if I would have put money on that, I would have lost my gosh dang mortgage. But I see for those discussions, usually centers around PBC going from 20 to 30 shows a year to about 5-6 shows a year. But, yeah, they jump all over it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, like, sometimes business changes. You know, I'm not saying that they have everything in order. But, I mean, does Bob Arum and Top Rank have everything in order right now, losing their ESPN deal? I'm not jumping on. I'm not screaming that Top Rank is dying, because I want Top Rank to re-up on their ESPN deal because I get more boxing. You know what I'm saying? But I know that if it was the other way around, if Golden Boy, if PBC lost, let's say, would you agree? Now, would you say Jaime Munguia and Caleb Plant are about the same level of stardom? I would say Jaime Munguia probably more, right? But Jaime Munguia... Let me give it. Yeah, so I would say if PBC lost Caleb Plant, people would say PBC's dying. It's because he's unhappy. No matter how many times Caleb Plant said he's happy with PBC, no matter how many times David Benavidez said he's happy, no matter how many times these fighters say they're happy, you know, and obviously Gervonta Tank Davis is a star, so he's going to be happy. But if Caleb Plant left PBC, they would say PBC's dying. Jaime Munguia left Golden Boy. Nobody said nobody said Golden Boy was dying. Jaime Munguia is a bigger star than Caleb Plant, I would say. Jaime Munguia is with Top Rank right now. No one said Golden Boy was dying. At least I didn't hear it. And I don't think Golden Boy is dying because, I mean, sometimes people go to different situations that benefit them. And sometimes you do switch up your business model, like Real Talk Combat says. Like I said, going to Amazon seems bad on the surface, but the fact that you got an Amazon deal, I mean, Jeff Bezos, does he seem like a guy that wants to lose money? You don't become the richest guy or one of the richest guys on earth because you're looking to lose money. So the fact you could look at it like, oh yeah, man, they're with another broadcasting company, they're with another platform, Amazon, that means they must be dying. I could look at it and say, oh, well, you know, they got another platform like Amazon to invest in them. I mean, can you not do that? You know, I think it'll be a problem if we saw them streaming on YouTube, you know, primarily. That might be a problem. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Rick Glaser is a disgrace. Rick Glaser is a disgrace in my book. Holding grudges for years is supposed to be a journalist. Right, exactly. What happened to journalistic integrity? Hot comb sales have increased due to hair grease going into people's eyes. Right. You know, it's crazy, bro. Like I said, I don't know, man. I know Caleb Plant is coming back with Jamal Charlo on the card. I think that's going to be a good card. I'm looking forward to that. I just know Dimitri Bivol and David Benavidez is trying to get a fight. That's going to be a PBC card. I'm looking forward to that. Or whoever David Benavidez fights. Obviously not Bivol, but we'll see, man. I know Isa Pitbull Cruz was just on the card with Angel Fierro. And I know it wasn't pay-per-view. But don't get me wrong, it may not all be peaches and cream. They could be struggling, you know. They could be struggling, but, you know, I don't know. We'll see, man. All right, we going into the. This is super lightweight. Wait, this is super lightweight. So this is 140. Round 5. Ups and downs in any business. Sometimes you retool, sometimes you restructure, but you live. You live to fight another day. Talk to him, Al Booger. He said, use all verse play future slap. Use all verse play future slap revenge arc. That's crazy. To me, it sounds like they figured out their previous model of many pay-per-views and spreading their stable, but out didn't work. So they consolidated and only kept their best to stack smaller cards. Maybe. But I know that, you know, it's so crazy to Real Talk. If Real Talk Combat, who's the biggest star in boxing? It's Cinnamon, right? Can you imagine if Cinnamon left PBC and went to Golden Boy? What would be the narrative? But Canelo left Golden Boy and went to PBC. And people act like he's not even a PBC fighter. That's how disrespectful people are. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Cinnamon is an economy in himself. He's a star. But if you could argue that PBC up until this upcoming fight, excuse me, because the last fight that Canelo had was also on PBC, right? With Edgar Berlanga, right? So you could argue up until this upcoming fight with William Skull, PBC had 2 of the 3 biggest stars. They had the biggest star in Canelo, and they had the second biggest star in Gervonta Tank Davis, and the third biggest star, Anthony Joshua, was in Matchroom. So 2 of the 3 biggest stars, including the biggest star, were signed with PBC up until this upcoming fight. So, I don't know, man. Maybe that's hurting. Maybe that was hurting them too. You never know. I mean, we could look at the flip side. Maybe that's what's hurting their business model. Maybe it didn't help as much. Maybe they had to pay Canelo a whole lot of money to get him there, and then they didn't really make much money because they gave Canelo too much of the bag. That's a speculation that could be had. But do we know that? I don't know. I know if Canelo was with Matchroom, it'll be celebrated. I know if Canelo was a Golden Boy, it'll be celebrated. If he was a Top Rank, it'll be celebrated. If he was a Queensberry, it'll be celebrated. So it's like people look for the negative. Oh. Would love to go to scrap at VA. That's a good card. Yes, sir. The De Los Santos versus Keyshawn Davis. Oh yeah, that's a good one. They dig into the body right now. Oh boy, big right hand from gosh dang was it Lozan? Big right hand from Lozan. Eshmatov ate that joint. Oh, big left hand from Eshmatov. Yo, these dudes, they ain't blocking, chat. They not blocking, chat. Or they blocking with their face. They went to the Jaime Munguia school of defense. You know Jaime Munguia blocked with his face. Shout out to my guy Jaime Munguia. Exciting fighter. Mm, 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 mm. I'll be right back. Let me blow my nose again. Yo, y'all got to be watching this gosh dang WBC joint, man. And what if that fight happens? What if that fight happens, Albuga? That wouldn't be good, especially with them being on the same card. Jamal Charlo fighting Thomas Lamana, and then Caleb Plant fighting whoever he's fighting, Resendez or something like that. What if that ends up being on the same card? You know, I mean, what if the fact that they're on the same card right now together? What if that leads us to that fight next? And not to, you know what I'm saying, not to mention if the Charlo brothers come back, you know, who are they fighting with? Those are some other stars, right? So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's all perspective, I guess. Maybe I'm too much of an optimist, but you know, not only is let's look at the champions, right? I mean, people will say crazy stuff, but Mario Barrios is that's a champion with PBC. Sebastian Fedora, he's a unified champion at 154. He's with PBC. And like I told you, they have Jonas Tellis, who's also a PBC, who's an interim champion. You know, they have Caleb Plant, who is not a champion, but he's mostly considered the second best fighter at 168 as PBC. They just lost Saul Canelo Alvarez to Riyadh season, and I'm sure that PBC probably has some type of deal in there too. You never know. I don't know that for sure, but I would think so. You know, Carlos Adames is 160 champion. He's with PBC. You know, so it's just like, man, there's a lot of fighters that we don't think of for whatever reason, but man, there's quite a few fighters with PBC, man. You know what I'm saying? Quite a few fighters, man. Quite a few. And that's just off the top of my head, too. Is it Arizlani Lara with PBC as well? I'm not sure. I think Arizlani Lara was with PBC as well. He's a champion at 160. We already know about Gervonta Tank Davis and David Benavidez, champion at 135 and 175, respectively. You know, I think Erickson the Hammer Lubins. Erickson Lubins with Pro Box now. Never mind. So, there's some guys there, man. David Morrell, that's a young talent, right? I mean, he's not young, but he only has 10 or 11 fights. He just lost Dave Benavidez, but he's also at PBC, right? David Morrell. So I don't know, man. I think sometimes people see what they want to see, man. Not to mention, you know, who else? Jesus Ramos is with PBC. 140, Gary Antoine Russell's with PBC. Rayo Valenzuela, who he beat, was with PBC. So I was like, man, you know, there's a lot of guys, man. You know, when we think about it. We don't like to think about it. We just like to talk about the negative part, but there's a whole lot to be positive about. Yo, 2 cents in the building. What's good? We need an IBF Grand Prix. That'd be dope. Yo, what's good? Just do. That would be great. Maybe we get an in-ring face to face that. Yeah, if Jamal Charlo beats Thomas Cornflake Lamana. And if Caleb Plant beats Resendez, Caleb Plant will be the main event. So maybe we could get Jamal Charlo an in-ring face-off. He better protect his neck, though. He might get that 5 slapped out of him again. I need your explanation on why this cheetah will stop you. Nah, bro. Nah. This man said this Ryosuke Nishida gonna stop my boy Junto Nakatani. Nah, get him out of here, chat. Get him out of here, chat. Turkey putting on fights we want to see. Who asked for Rolly? Shout out to my guy Tay, man. Nah, Turkey putting on fights we want to see, bro. I think so. I mean, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Ryan versus Rolly came out of left field. Remember, it was initially supposed to be Ryan versus Pitbull, right? But I like Rolly, man. I'm down to see Rolly, but I think he's gonna lose against Ryan. But yeah, man, I just think, like I said, I just went on the whole defense, had my shield out protecting PBC, and vice versa. You know, I'm not anti any promotional company or event planner. So I'm not anti-Turkey. I'm not anti-PBC. I'm not anti-Golden Boy. You know, so I just defended PBC for like the last 30 minutes. So you know I rock with PBC, but I just rock with boxing, man. So even with Turkey, yeah, I didn't ask for Ryan versus Rolly, but this is a good card though. That's a good card, man. I think it's gonna be good. I'm hoping Rolly pulls it off, but I don't think so. I think Rolly's gonna lose. I'm going for Rolly, but I think Ryan's gonna win. I'm going for Devin, and I think Devin's gonna win against Jose Carlos Ramirez. I'm going for Barbosa, but I think Teofimo's gonna win too. So we'll see, man. And then the following day, we got Cinnamon against William Skull, man, trying to reclaim Undisputed. Not to mention, on that card, people are sleeping on it, man. We got Martin Bakoli versus Efe Ajagba, man, the Badman out of the Democratic Republic of Congo, going against the Badman out of Nigeria, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? They should have had that joint in gosh dang Nigeria in Nigeria or the maybe not the Congo, but or the Congo or something like that, or another African nation. You know what I'm saying? Put that joint in an African country, man. You got two African juggernauts going at it, man. One representing the country of Nigeria, the beautiful country of Nigeria, and then the other one representing the Democratic of Congo, man, formerly known as Zaire. You know what I'm talking about? So they should have been out there. You know what I'm talking about, in the motherland. But you feel me? Shout out to them for making it happen. Still. We got the Badmans, the big Badman with the big engine.
Me blood clot.
That's going to be a good one. People sleeping on that. Another fight people sleeping on, Badu Jack versus Noel McCain, because what? It's in the cruiserweight division, and we don't care about the cruiserweight division. Us as a whole, not me individually or us individually, but as a whole, we don't really like the cruiserweight division. But that's another title fight right there. We got Badu Jack defending his title against Noel McCain, we got the champion versus the champion in recess. That joke is crazy, right? That should be a good one. Shout out to Ryan Rozicki, the Canadian fighter, man. I feel bad for him because he finally had his title opportunity and he injured himself. That's tough because Noel McCain been dipping and dodging and evading Ryan Rozicki for some years. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. And then he finally gets his opportunity once they make him the champion in recess and elevate Badu Jack back to a full champion from a champion in recess. He was supposed to fight Badu Jack, and then he got injured, and now Noel McCain is taking his spot, bro. Life is crazy, bro. Hey, man, life is crazy, bro. You got to keep your head on the swivel, man. Oscar asked for all these fights. This is a Golden Boy. Hey, that's facts, BR. This is a Golden Boy card. You ain't lying. It is essentially a Golden Boy card. You're not lying. Golden Boy fighters in all three of the fights. You're right. Ryan versus Rolly. Obviously, Ryan represents Golden Boy. Teofimo versus Barbosa. Obviously, Barbosa represents Golden Boy. And then Devin Haney versus Ramirez. Obviously, Ramirez represents Golden Boy. I'm not mad at the card. Like I said, I'm not mad at it, bro. I'm not. I think they're good fights. Like I said, I like Rolly. He's funny. He hasn't really been too funny. I'm actually disappointed in the press conferences. I thought it would be more exciting than that. You know, but that's not even just the fighter's fault. You know, I can't get mad at anybody for changing their ways, but it's really the commentators, man. The DAZN commentators are freaking terrible, bro. The DAZN commentators, they are nothing but pure garbage.
Know your fucking place, trash.
I was so happy that Bill Haney went and checked that dude in his face, man. They're terrible, man. They like, I don't understand how you like boxing that like PEDs or nothing. You know, pull out my GTD chain. You feel me? We only get fights in Africa with regional fighters because of the insane amount of politics involved. Yeah, you're right. That's true. You're right about that, Al Booker. That's a good point. For just $89.99, you could buy fights no one asked for. Ramirez's last 3 fights have been terrible. Hey, I don't want to hear that, Tay. Everybody's telling me, you know, whether you're Oscar De La Hoya, whether you're what's Ryan Garcia's daddy name? Henry Garcia, that bum, and everybody else. Oh, Devin Haney shot. Jose Carlos Ramirez is gonna destroy him. He's a damaged fighter. He's damaged goods. So I want to be very clear. If Jose Carlos Ramirez beats Devin Haney, I'm going to give him all the credit in the world because Devin Haney, he's still undefeated, right? Even with that, what transpired that night on 420 last year, he came out of there with a no contest. He was brutalized by a guy that cheated. So he's still an undefeated fighter. If Ramirez puts him away, he gets all the credit he deserves, right? And contrarily, if Devin Haney wins, or should I say when he wins, I don't want to hear that Jose Carlos Ramirez is suddenly a bad fighter. I don't want to hear that he's on a losing streak. I don't want to hear that, oh yeah, man, he just lost to Arnold Barbosa. Oh man, he's not the same since he lost to Josh Taylor. I don't want to hear that, bro, because this is the same guy that we said is going to beat Devin Haney, right? So when Devin Haney beats him, let's give Devin Haney all his credit. So I don't want to hear about no loser streak. I don't want to hear about no old, no age, no looking bad, no I'm new to the weight. I don't want to hear nothing because this is the guy that everybody's saying that is going to put Devin Haney away. So let's normalize giving people their full credit when they come out with a victory and not downplaying their victory because we don't like them or exaggerating their victory because we do like them. You know what I'm saying? That's all I've been hearing about. Jose Carlos Ramirez is going to whoop on Devin Haney. So if he does, kudos to him. I like Jose Carlos Ramirez. He's a good fighter, in my opinion. But if Devin Haney wins, I don't have nothing against Devin Haney either. If he wins, it's a good win. You know what I'm saying? Let's give him their credit. Turkey ruined the fight. He don't know how to promote a big fight for real. Yeah, all the good fights, honestly. What card can you get 3 separate fights involving Tio, Devin, and Ryan? Yeah, I don't think it's a bad one, man. I think it's a decent card, man. And what if you take your personal feelings out of it? Like, I don't like Ryan Garcia and I don't like Teofimo Lopez for the things that they say, but they're good fighters, and I think that especially Teofimo, he's a champion, right? I think he's the best champion at 140. As far as being the most decorated champion, I'm not saying that he beats Gary Anton Russell or Gary Anton Russell beats him. I'm just saying that I got to respect the fact that 140 champions have been flipping like hotcakes, and he's been the one that's been there the longest. His fight against Steve Claggett was shaky, and his fight against Jermaine Ortiz was terrible. That was one of the worst fights I've seen in boxing history. You know what I'm saying? That joke was trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But Teofimo is still, he's been the champion the longest at 140, and I got to give him his credit for that. Am I rooting for him? Nope. I'm rooting for Arnold Barbosa. But he's still a star in boxing. He's not the biggest star, but he's still a star. So it's always I like seeing him fight. I don't like him, but I like seeing him fight. Same with Ryan Garcia. I don't like him either, but I'm gonna be tuned into Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. I'm gonna be rooting for Rolly Romero, but I think Ryan Garcia is gonna win. You can make a case, stylistically, not the best matchup. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the best fight is Teofimo versus Arnold Barbosa. Just because Arnold Barbosa has been on a nice little streak, beating Jack El Gato Catterall, the cat, and then he beat Jose Carlos Ramirez. So I think that those are good wins. His momentum is good. And then Teofimo being, like I said, the longest standing champion at 140, I think that's the best fight. I think it's the best fight on the card. But of course, we're looking forward to seeing Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Number one, we want to see Ryan Garcia, see how he can operate without the Ostarine and maybe be focused, and we want to see how Devin Haney responds to getting brutalized last time we saw him. Let's see if he could if he conquered some of those demons, you know what I'm saying, see how he bounces back. So there's some intrigue there. I'd rather watch 2 homeless dudes fight than see Tio. Wait, what? You rather see 2 homeless dudes fight than see Tio and Devin? What? You don't want to see Devin Haney fight or Teofimo? For real? Oh, nah. Teofimo look weak. He looked trash in his last fight against Steve Claggett and Jermaine Ortiz, but I still want to see him. Like I said, even if it's to see him get beat on by Arnold Barbosa, I think it's interesting, man. I want to see it. But like I said, I like boxing a whole lot, man. I'm the same person as I'm looking forward to seeing Sharetta Metcalf versus Dina Thorslin. You know what I'm saying? On that all-women card, man. One time for the ladies, you feel me? So I like to see minimum weight, whether it's Oscar Collazo versus Melvin Jerusalem, or it's freaking Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, at heavyweight. I like boxing, so. But yeah, I the only people I don't really get excited to see. I'm trying to think. Like, if you had a terrible performance, like I didn't want to see Chris Billiam Smith or Richard Riakporhe. It's not that I don't want to see them individually, but I don't want to see them fight again because that fight was terrible. Like, I don't want to see Jermaine Ortiz and Teofimo again, but I wouldn't mind watching Jermaine Ortiz against somebody else or Teofimo versus somebody else, but I don't want to see them fight ever again, not together. I don't want to see Edwin De Los Santos and Shakur Stevenson fight again together, but I'm excited to see Shakur versus Zepeda. And I'm excited to see Keyshawn versus De Los Santos. I just don't want to see De Los Santos and Shakur together ever again. So Chris Billiam Smith, I was excited to see him fight Zerto, and I was gonna watch Lawrence Okoli versus Richard Riakporhe, but I don't want to see Richard Riakporhe and CBS Chris Billiam Smith together ever again because that combination was trash. Those are some of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life. Brochero versus Totayev. Look, Oscar want to see Erickson Lubin versus Jesus Ramos part 2. All right, give me a second, y'all. Let me blow my nose real quick. My bad, y'all. I'm still sick, y'all. Still sick, but we still getting it in, man. Crazy, bro. My bad. I thought I muted my 2 Cents says, I need Lubin to win. I mean, sorry, Oscar said I need Lubin to win. I wouldn't mind seeing Jesus Ramos versus Erickson Lubin again. I didn't have a problem with that win though. I thought the right person won, but it was a close fight though, you know. And I like Jesus Ramos, and I like Jesus Ramos in the rematch. But we'll see how Erickson Lubin looks against Ardreau Holmes, right? So we'll see. That's a good fight, man. Ardreau Holmes is a slick fighter, so I think it's gonna be a good fight. May the best man win. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jesus Ramos again. 2 Cents says, I don't want to see Serrano Taylor versus Bivol Beterbiev again. Enough is enough. Now, you know I'm going to say you wildin', right? You know I'm going to say you wildin', right, 2 Cents? I agree with you in regards to Serrano and Taylor. I don't think the third fight should happen. I'm with you. I will say this to the end of days. I think that trilogy doesn't make sense. Because, well, okay, it makes sense logistically and economically, right? Because it makes sense because a lot of people think that Amanda Serrano, including myself, I thought Amanda Serrano did enough to win the second fight. But on paper, she lost. It was a close fight and she lost, right? So she's down 0-2. So yes, by excuse me, so by logic and by the statistics, the trilogy does not make sense because she's down 0-2. Why are we seeing the trilogy? It's like when Tyson Fury fought Derek Chisora 3 times. Why are we watching that 3 times? Tyson Fury won all 3 times. Why are we watching that again? So I agree with you. Like I think they're just milking the hell out of Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. I think the trilogy is definitely unjustified from a statistics standpoint, as in a win-loss standpoint. But economically, you know, a lot of people want to see this fight. They're saying that a lot of people want to see this fight. They're inflating the numbers because they're on the undercard of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. So I don't even know how you could count viewership from a co-main event. Who does that? But anyway, you know, so I think that's inflated interest. But it is a good fight. I can't take that away from them. They do fight. They are explosive fights. But I'm with you. I think that it just feels like it's played out. It feels like they're just going to keep running it back until Amanda Serrano wins. There's no reason to have a trilogy unless the outcomes were different. The outcomes were not different. And in that case, Katie Taylor won twice. The trilogy that makes sense amongst the women is Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor. Chantel Cameron won the first fight. Katie Taylor won the second fight. That is a trilogy that's justified. So I agree with you there. I vehemently disagree with you on Bivol and Beterbiev. I feel like I don't even know why people don't want that rematch. Like, that's a rematch that makes sense. They're 1-1. They're both were close fights. The second fight I thought was wider. I think it was more clearly Bivol's win. But the first fight went to Beterbiev. The second fight went to Bivol. Of course we need a trilogy. We need that. We absolutely need a trilogy. We need to find out who's the definitive winner. So I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? That's your opinion. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not mad at people who don't want to see that fight. But I just don't understand it. I don't get that part. That's the you got. Yeah. I need that. I need Bivol and Beterbiev, and I need it in a timely fashion because if we don't get it soon, you know, Beterbiev, he's not a spring chicken, right? He's more of an old rooster. He's like El Gallo, you know what I'm saying? The rooster, you know? So the later we have it, the worse it's going to get for Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? The man is, how old is Beterbiev? He's 40, and he's about to be 41 in January.
Damn. I'm sorry.
So, you know, we need that. The longer it's prolonged, the more it's prolonged, the worse it's going to get for Beterbiev, because I know he doesn't have that many fights, right? So his ring mileage isn't that high, especially when you consider the fact that he rarely went the distance. His first time going the distance was the 2 times he fought Bivol. Those are the only times he went the distance. So his ring mileage is low, but he's still, you know, the age is still there. So you're naturally going to slow down eventually. So we need that. I need that. I'm happy for it. Erickson better stay focused this fight. He couldn't keep it together during a simple face-off of homie. Yeah, facts. Yeah, I saw that face-off too. Yeah, he a old rooster. You feel me? He ain't no spring chicken. 2 cents. He a old rooster. You feel me? So yeah, I get it. Like I said, I'm not mad at that because of course I'd be a liar if I said I'm not interested in Beterbiev versus Benavidez or Bivol versus Benavidez, of course. But hey man, we got unfinished business, baby. This is what I don't want. 2 cents. I don't want a Canelo Triple G rematch, right? That trilogy took 5 years. That's too much, man. That's too much. Like, I didn't even have to. I'm with you on this one. I didn't have to see Canelo versus Triple G the third time, right? Even though it was justified because the first time was a draw, the second time with Canelo won. So those are 2 different outcomes. Boom, have the trilogy. But gosh, dang, you had it 5 years. No, bro. I like this format, man. Get them trilogies back to back popping. You know what I'm saying? Get that thing popping back to back consecutively. That's what I need. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and wrap it up. You know what I'm talking about? And then we move on. I don't want to move on and then come back to it. But of course, a lot of trilogies, like we said, they have fights in between, right? You know, like Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, they had fights in between. But even then, that trilogy, to me, do you think? Let me ask y'all this: who do you think the time span, the wide gap between the trilogy benefited? I thought it benefited Tyson Fury. I feel like it would have been better if Deontay Wilder would have had him back to back. I'm not saying that would have changed the outcome, but I think it would have been. I think Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder would have had a better chance if it was closer. You know, so I don't know, man. I like these trilogies back to get them things out the way, and then we move on. I mean, you know, because Deontay Wilder is older, and Deontay Wilder had more fights. So I think it benefits them to have it sooner. In my opinion, I don't know. You know, you get the best out of both combatants. I think. Booga. Apparently, if Lubin wins, he's gonna challenge Bakram. I don't know about that. Depends on how he looks. Yeah. Because the IBF. This is an IBF title eliminator, I believe. Oscar. I believe Argiro Holmes and Erickson Lubin is a IBF title eliminator. So yeah, I think the winner of this is in line to get Bakram or Tazaliev. But better be if got them Russian eggs. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause that. I ain't gonna lie. We gonna go ahead and pause that. Russian eggs is crazy.
No, did he?
Yeah, that's wild. I don't even know what that means. Got the Russian eggs. What kind of? What's Russian eggs? What they got? Bear eggs? The bears lay eggs out there in Russia, man. They eat bear eggs. Hey, yo, man, come on, man. They don't eat regular eggs, huh? The Russian eggs. They got ostrich eggs. You know what I'm saying? We out here eating chickens. They eating ostrich eggs.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Just make sure it ain't the ostrich eggs. You know what I'm talking about? Let me find out bears lay eggs in Russia. Let me find out bears lay eggs in Russia. Wilder effed up, put all that weight on. Yeah, true. And not work it out. Yeah, his condition. Yeah. But what? But why? Wait, what? Okay, so I know you a boxing savant, right? When do you start to slack up on your road work? I'm not saying you should ever slack up on your road work, but when do you do it? The older you get. I'm not making excuses. Shout out to Tyson Fury because I like Tyson Fury a lot too. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, solidified himself as the best heavyweight of that current iteration of heavyweights when he beat Deontay Wilder. I like both of them going into that fight. I like Deontay Wilder more than I like Tyson Fury, but I like the Gypsy King a lot too. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really care who won. But I was rooting slightly more for Deontay Wilder, the American, right? But I wasn't irate that he lost. But my point is that when you get older, you know what I'm saying, that you want to, you might go from the hills and the stadiums to the stairs to the Stairmaster, you know what I'm talking about, to the treadmill, you know what I'm talking about, and then all of a sudden you out here getting your steps with Google and you think you're doing something, 10,000 steps. Well, you ain't doing. You better go hit that road, man. You better get that running in, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how we try to make ourselves feel accomplished and try to fake the funk. You know, it's like when people, they be in bed trying to work on their abs. Bitch, you don't get your ass up and go gosh dang do some crunches and go outside. You ain't got to go to the gym and go outside. We try to make it seem like, oh, we laying on our back in the bed and moving our legs. We doing abs. And it's better than nothing, but it still ain't the same as getting it in. You know, we start taking shortcuts is what I'm saying. Deontay Wilder coming in with a gosh dang 40-pound costume, talking about his legs was gone. Please. Shout out to Deontay Wilder, man. You know what I'm saying? To this day, that's the worst excuse. To this day. Shout out to Deontay Wilder. You know what's so funny, man? Deontay Wilder, man. Hey, he was spitting on that interview with, who was that with? Radio Raheem. To this day, he was really spitting some facts, man. But we gonna make a joke out of it because the internet's undefeated. But he was really spitting some facts, man. Shout out to Deontay Wilder, man. He said, we been fighting. And we fighting to this day. To this day. My issue with Deontay Wilder is that I just can never take him seriously because he be making it seem like everything he says is so prophetic. Everything he says is so profound. But bro, you really didn't say nothing that deep. But you be acting like you just some gosh dang poet. Oh, and this is open mic and poetry night, like, you know. But he really be saying some good stuff though. It's just it's just hard to take him seriously, you know, because the way he be looking and the way he saying it, like, you know, he just feel like he a rapper, you know. He be rapping on the mic. It's like, bro, what you saying is good, but it ain't that damn good. he be up there acting like he TD Jakes, boy. But he be saying like that all jokes aside now, he would say some real stuff in that To This Day interview, for real. Well, listen to what he's saying for real. They tried to make it seem like his opponents, his opponents are some warriors. He's like, man, I'm a warrior. You know what I'm saying? My people been fighting, and we fighting to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Yeah, that excuse was terrible, Al Booger. That's the thing. I like Deontay Wilder, but I'm not going, man. I like the Bronze Bomber, but I'm not going with that excuse. I'm not going. How you work on your abs in the bed? I'm telling you, people be doing it. They be doing the scissor kick. They be laying on their back. And I ain't gonna lie, you know. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night. Excuse me, man, I'm still sick. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I do my scissor kicks too, and I do my bicycle kicks. You know, they work on your abs, but that don't mean that they could supplement. You know, I mean, well, it could supplement, but it can't replace you actually, you know, doing some sit-ups, doing the ab wheel, doing some, you know, doing some crunches and stuff. You still got to get that in too. That's just like supplemental workouts. It's not supposed to replace it. You can add to it, or, you know, replace, you know. Wilder, one of them Hotep type of, man. Shout out to Wilder, man. I like Deontay Wilder, man. I don't want to see my boy fight again, man. Like I said, you know, he's one of those fighters that people don't have remorse for. And you know how that goes. You know, a lot of times, you know, let's face it, right? A lot of times that's a plight that all the Black American fighters have, you know, and other fighters too, but Black American fighters seem like the most, right? We be ready to just, you know, act like they're just invincible. And when they lose, it's like no one talks about Deontay Wilder being old. You know, when he loses, it's just because he's trash. You know, when other fighters that are younger than him lose, it's because they're old. But when Deontay Wilder, who loses, who's older, and he has a lot more fights, it's because he's trash, right? So I think that he's right now being used as a resume builder, and no one's realizing that, no, bro, the man is just not serviceable. He's not the same fighter, bro. You know, he's on a severe decline, an exponential decline, and he's just not the same, man. He doesn't look the same. He doesn't fight the same. I don't even think he could effectively protect himself while in the ring, you know? I think Jose Pedraza, he's a Puerto Rican fighter. He's in the same boat. Jose Pedraza is what, 0-4-1 in his last 5 fights, and people beating him and acting like they're good. Like Ernesto Mercado. No disrespect to my guy Keyshawn Davis, but Keyshawn Davis as well. Like that's not a good win. It's a good win because Jose Pedraza was an undefeated champion, a former champion, but that's not a good win at this point. But because of the name, it's a resume builder, right? It's the same with Deontay Wilder. Like, I'm sorry, Joseph Parker don't get... And people say I'd be hard on Joseph Parker. I like Joseph Parker, but I'm not an idiot. I know what I see. Joseph Parker, his 3-fight win streak is against Deontay Wilder, who's a shell of himself. He barely threw a punch. Me and Deontay Wilder threw the same amount of punches, and I wasn't in the fight. You know what I'm saying? I was watching the fight from the comfort of my own home in my seat, you know, and Deontay Wilder was in the ring fighting, and we threw the same amount of punches. You know, so he beat Deontay Wilder, and he didn't even stop him. How the hell did you not stop that? Deontay Wilder is crazy. Then Joseph Parker beat Zhilei Zhang, and he got knocked down twice. He got dropped twice, and he won a majority decision because he did outbox him, and he did pull through adversity, and he showed some nuts and guts, right, by getting up 2 times and beating the older Zhilei Zhang. But Zhilei Zhang was like 41 or 42 when he beat him. Let's be real, right? He was like 40 or 42. You know, older Chinese man that he beat. You know what I'm saying? Damn. And then so that's another win. And then Zhilei Zhang followed up that win with I think he knocked out Deontay Wilder, made him do the spin and Rooney, and then he got knocked down in 6 rounds by Ajit Kabayel, right? Ajit Kabayel made him look old. And then he beat Martin Bakole in 2 days' notice. The man took a 16-hour plane trip in skinny jeans. You ain't got no circulation from the waist down. Of course you're gonna lose. Who the hell, bro? You're a heavyweight, bro. You eating all that jollof rice, you gonna have the audacity to put on some skinny jeans? You should have lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? If I was a trainer, I wouldn't even let him fight. You wearing skinny jeans, man. Get your big ass out them goddamn skinny jeans, man. Put you on some cargo pants or something. Out there looking like you about to jerk. Do the jerk. Come on, man. What are we doing, man? And those are his 3 wins. He beat a guy in 2 days notice. Before he flew into Saudi Arabia, the man was in the Congo, and his trainer, Bill Nelson, was in Switzerland or Scotland, wherever he's from. I don't know. You know, no disrespect. I don't remember if he's from Switzerland or Scotland or wherever he's from. They weren't even together. By Billy Nelson, his trainer's own admission, Martin Bakole hasn't taken a punch or threw a real punch since August. Coincidentally, you know what August was? August of 2024? That's when he beat Jared Anderson. So Martin Bakole was on vacation by his own admission and by his own trainer's admission, he hasn't fought or threw a punch in sparring or a significant punch or took a punch since he fought Jared Anderson. And that's the guy that we're giving Joseph Parker credit for beating. Come on, bro. He wasn't prepared to fight. He was 2 days notice. You know, we're going to act like preparation doesn't matter, but then again, we act like PEDs don't matter. So yeah, I mean, I guess so. It makes sense, right? At least the idiots are consistent. PEDs don't matter. Preparation don't matter. Nothing matters, man. Joseph Parker's last 3 wins are suspect as hell. Anytime Joseph Parker fights, if Joseph Parker fights a Jit Caballel, I got Caballel. If he fights Daniel Dubois, I got Dubois. If he fights Usyk, I got Usyk for sure. Shit, yeah. If he fights Anthony Joshua for a rematch, I got Anthony Joshua beating him again. No disrespect to Joseph Parker, but he just hasn't shown me nothing. You know, I'm not convinced that it's a different Joseph Parker that got knocked out by Joe Joyce, that lost to Anthony Joshua, and that lost to Dylan White. I think it's the same guy, but I could be wrong. You know, he looked good. He looked good beating Bacoli. I guess. I guess. Some guys go on for very fortuitous. Bro, that is the word right there. Fortuitous runs. Very fortuitous. Shout out to my guy B-Dog. He was a skinny jeans. You seen him. You seen him. He had jollof rice, skinny jeans, and a Guinness. Come on, bro. Who's he gonna beat? I'll fight that Bacoli. Come on, bro. Stop it, man. You seen him. Man had on skinny jeans, man. It's your big ass, man. Who bought that for you, man? Everything ain't for everybody, bro. Come on, man. Bacoli basically went from the airport straight to basically. That's exactly what he did. Loma can't fight because he old, but the same people turn around and say El Gallo and Wilder are good with. Right, bro. Right. El Gallo, who has more fights, is just same age as Lomachenko. Come on, bro. Lomachenko's a champion, bro. Get your behind in there and go defend your belt or unify. Last time you fought, you look very good to me. Ooh! Well, they called it a slip. They called it a slip, chat. You knocked out Kambosos. Devin Haney didn't knock out Kambosos. Teofimo didn't even beat Kambosos. Lomachenko knocked out Kambosos in his last fight. Well, how's he old? He only has 21 total fights. He's 18-3. How's he old? Deontay Wilder's older and has damn near triple the amount of fights. Deontay Wilder got 50 fights. Lomachenko got 21. Lomachenko 36. Deontay Wilder 39. Almost 40. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it consistent, man. I'm not saying that Lomachenko is at his best either. Don't get me wrong. But it is what it is, man. Ooh, I don't know, bro. Was that a slip, chat, or was that a knockdown? I don't know. Oh, no, that's a knockdown. Oh, that's a knockdown. And he got away with one. I could see why the referee thought it was a slip because it was a delayed reaction, but he got hit on the top of the head. His brain ain't registered to his legs. Oh, that was a knockdown, boy. He got away with one. Brochero got away with one. That was a knockdown, chat. I like to see Abdullah Mason versus Kambosos. That's a good fight. Kambosos fighting Richardson Hitchens, though. I think that's a good fight too. I know people are gonna trash it, rightfully so, because I don't think Kambosos is up there with Richardson Hitchens and guys like that. But I think that's a good win for a first title defense. I'm not mad at that. Oh, Brochero, hey, he got away with one. That was a knockdown. What you think, Oscar? Y'all watching this gosh dang this WBC Grand Prix? I know two show. I know 2 cents watching it. My bad. He had some on some Jeggings for 20. You feel me? Cutting off your circulation, man. You can't breathe in that, man. How you supposed to breathe in that, man? Real talk. I rewatched Wilder versus Stavern recently. It was shocking to see how much faster and sudden he was during those years. Talk to him, man. Forgot how athletic he was. Right, exactly. It's so crazy about, and I'm not, like I said, to me, the only person I give full credit for beating Deontay Wilder is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury changed that man's life. You know what I'm saying? We see it, it changed his career. Tyson Fury put a whooping on that boy, Deontay Wilder, But Deontay Wilder, shout out to the Gypsy King of obesity, you know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Shout out to Tyson Fury. But Deontay Wilder, bro, what was his game predicated off of, Albuga? The power in the right hand, and what people don't mention is his athleticism. Athleticism in his right hand. He had that equalizer in his right hand, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I don't even get it, bro. Like, I know we knock him because he doesn't have the highest boxing acumen as far as skills go and fundamentals go, but he picked up boxing late, and he did it for a noble cause, right? To pay for his daughter's treatments or something like that, right? So we should be celebrating the fact that this man went 10 years, a whole decade undefeated and a champion for the large majority of those years. People say he beat nobody. I mean, who did Tyson Fury beat? Tyson Fury beat Wilder. But other than that, he beat an old Klitschko. If you want to say that Wilder didn't beat any, if you want to say Wilder beat an old Luis Ortiz, okay. But at that time period, it was Wilder. The top 4 guys in the heavyweight division was Wilder, AJ, Tyson Fury, and Luis King Kong Ortiz. Deontay Wilder beat Ortiz twice, and he fought Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua never fought Ortiz. He never fought Fury, and he never fought Wilder. In fact, he lost to Andy Ruiz by upset. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua's best wins, if you take out Wilder, is probably the same person, Vladimir Klitschko. And Vladimir Klitschko had a commonality in both those fights. He was old in both. Hey, that was a stoppage right there. Boshero got stopped. Shout out to the young man. I don't know his name, but hey, he just stopped Boshero. That was a good stoppage. So I'm not mad at that stoppage. Shout out to my guy Kendrick in the building. So my point is that we say AKA spinal. Yeah, exactly. So my point is, what I'm saying is that we so quickly say Wilder didn't fight anybody. I mean, who did Anthony Joshua fight? He fought Usyk, but he lost twice. That was a mean leaping left hook. That was a Madrimov left hook right there. Oh, and he looked at him too, chat. Oh, and he looked at him too. He stared him down. Oh, no, that's a tech. Tee him up. If that was an NBA, he would have got teched. He would have got teed up if that was an NBA. Technical foul, man. Stare down, man. You know what I'm talking about? Unsportsmanlike conduct. I hate that with the NBA. You can't even stare somebody down in the NBA. NBA so gosh dang soft. But that was a good knockout though. That was a good stoppage too. But yeah, what's the name? Is Arthur Spilska not a good win? Arthur Spilska was a good win by Deontay Wilder. Bermane Stiverne twice. It was a former champion he beat, right? Those are good wins. He beat Luis King Kong Ortiz twice. Those are good wins. You know, I don't get it, man. You know, just like Tyson Fury, his win against Deontay Wilder, those are good wins. You know, I'll even give him credit for beating Klitschko. That's a good win. You know, but you can't tell me that he fought people. Is Derek Chisora that you don't think Deontay Wilder would have beat Derek Chisora? You don't think Deontay Wilder would have beat Otto Wallin? I mean, what are we doing? You don't think who Anthony Joshua beat? You don't think Deontay Wilder would have beat Joseph Parker back then when Anthony Joshua beat him? You don't think Deontay Wilder would have beat who did Anthony Joshua? Jermaine Franklin? What are we talking about? What are you talking about? You don't think Deontay Wilder back then would have beat Ngannou? Hey, shout out to Anthony Joshua, man. He held it down for boxing with that Ngannou window. You know what I'm talking about? That was fire. Tyson Fury had roids too. Wilder never had any allegations. Talk to him. Talk to him. Hey, get off my boy Tyson Fury though. Watch your mouth, man. Don't do my boy Fury like that, man. Gypsy king of obesity. Watch your mouth, man. Spinal bifida, aka spinal. If we compare Fury, AJ Wilder, it'd be Fury, Wilder, King Kong Ortiz. Hey, talk to him. Talk to him, Oscar. Talk to him back then. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you know, Luis King Kong Ortiz been losing. Like, he lost to Andy Ruiz. But, hey, he lost to Andy Ruiz. Guess who lost to Andy Ruiz, too? AJ. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, if Andy Ruiz is not that bad of a loss for AJ, it's not that bad of a loss for Luis King Kong Ortiz. You feel me? Come on now. Let's talk. If we're going to talk, let's talk. I know. In AJ's defense, AJ did avenge that loss. You know, he avenged that loss, which is dope. I don't think AJ's bad either, but you know, let's be fair, man. In our analysis, do I think Wilder's good now? No, I think as you age, why is Wilder not good now? What did Al Booger say? His athleticism, right? What happens with athleticism as you get older? That's one of the first things to go. That's why we think that, you know, shooters in the NBA last longer than guys that are there's games predicated off their explosiveness and their athleticism, like Derrick Rose. That's why Steph Curry is outlasting Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook as far as effectiveness, as far as high caliber effectiveness, close to what they did when they were young. He's outlasting them because he's a shooter. It's a finesse game, so that lasts longer. You know what I'm saying? That's more conducive with longevity than explosion and exploding to the rim and dunking over people like Derrick Rose and Westbrook. You know, Westbrook is still serviceable. Of course, Rose had the injury, you know, stuff like that. But Westbrook is still doing his thing, but he's not nearly as effective as he was. You could argue Steph Curry is just as effective, if not more effective now. You know what I'm saying? So That's because he's a shooter. You know, so it's more of a finesse game. So when your game is predicated off athleticism, then as you get older, your game's gonna deteriorate faster. You have to develop other skills. I mean, even Michael Jordan, right? That's why it shows his intelligence, because after his athleticism started to go, he started relying more so on his fadeaway jumper, backing you down, posting you up, hitting the turnaround jumper. You know what I'm saying? Even LeBron James has he that's why he has longevity, right? Because he has transitioned into a more finesse game as well. He started developing the 3-point shot. He started doing other things as opposed to just being a freight train and dominating that way. And we'll see what Giannis does, because Giannis going, you know, say even he's starting to develop a 3-pointer, right? It's no coincidence, you know, not only obviously two defensive schemes and game plans against him, and that will help him to spread the floor. But at the same time, bitch getting older, man. I can't run downhill like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? So same with Pacquiao. You know, Pacquiao became less effective once his athleticism started to go, because it was predicated off his agility, his explosive power, and stuff like that. You know, power stays. Power is the last thing to go. But how do you deliver that power if you don't have the athleticism to cut the distance as quickly as you can, the angles to give you as quickly as you could before, and stuff like that, man? So it's just analyzing the game. I dare y'all to compare Ortiz and AJ resume at the time and now. Tell me who got more impressive resume. Talk to him. Also, Nasukawa having a tough matchup in Santillan and Junto versus Ryosuke. Ooh, Giovanni Santillan and Nasukawa was going to be on the undercard. I didn't know that. I knew Giovanni Santillan had a fight coming up, but I didn't know it was going to be on the undercard of Junto and Ryosuke. Let's get right. That's fire. Let's go, man. I'm gonna drop that video later on today though, so that's why I didn't want to make it the main topic here this morning, because I'm gonna drop that video on that Junto and Ryosuke Nishida joint. Yes, sir. Big Junto. Oh, Victor Santillan. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Giovanni Santillan. I'm about to say, I know you had a fight coming up, but I didn't know it was gonna be on the undercard. Man, this Grand Prix has been good so far. Man, this junk. All right, let's get it, man. Who's next? Hey, chat, we have hit 2,700 subscribers, man. Let's get this 3K, man. Let's get this 3K by the end of next month, man. Don't forget to smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Hit that bell to turn on notifications as well, so you get notified when I drop YouTube video bangers and go live, man. And join the Discord if you haven't done so already, man. Join that Discord. Join the Discord. Join the Discord, you know. Join the Discord, man, so you get notifications when I drop a video and I go live, because sometimes YouTube be hating on a brother and they don't want to give out the notifications, man. They don't want to see me grow, but we going to grow despite, because we always going to keep going and growing as long as God permits, you feel me? So let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me drop the Discord. Let me drop the Discord link. If you haven't joined the Discord already, join that thing. Shout out to everybody who joined the Discord already. You know my thing. Also, AJ lost to nobody. Cherry pick replacement Andrew Ruiz. Shout out to Andrew Ruiz. Well, he definitely lost to Andrew Ruiz. Ortiz lost to an A-class full training camp. Andrew. That's a good point. That's a good point. You preaching right now. Oh, this is Happy Good Friday, chat. I didn't realize it's Friday. Yo, Happy Good Friday, everybody. My mama just texted me. It is Good Friday, man. Happy Good Friday to everybody that indulges. Oh, I thought that was Nonito Donaire. That's not him though. He looks like Nonito Donaire though. The trainer, I guess, or maybe he's a cut man. I don't know. But yeah, man. Happy Good Friday to everybody, man. God is good, man. Celebrate the resurrection of Christ. Happy Good Friday. May the grace of the Lord surround you, and may his blessings overflow in your life. Amen. Shout out to Mama Doc. Shout out to Mama Doc. Always sending me the good messages. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, Ersky. It's Friday, but Sunday's coming. Amen. It's Friday, but Sunday is coming. Amen. The resurrection, man. God is good. Yes, sir, man. But I don't know, man. I just think boxing's in a pretty good place, man. I think so. I think boxing's in a pretty good place, man. Despite what people may try to make you think, I think boxing is in a pretty good place, bro. Can it be better? Of course. You can always improve. But don't forget to smack that like button. But boxing right now, man, we got this Grand Prix popping. I know some people like to only see names, but this is a good event. We got Liam Whitaker versus I said Liam Whitaker. Dang. Ben Whitaker versus Liam Cameron. We got this weekend, we got Gabriela Fedora versus Marilyn Badillo. I'm looking forward to seeing Charles Conwell on the undercard as well, going against Jorge Perez. Is it Jorge Perez? I believe is his name. Jesus Jorge Perez, I believe. And then no, sorry, Perez Garcia. Excuse me, Perez Garcia. And then we have Alexander Vazda going against something Holloway, Anthony Holloway, I believe. That's good fights, man. Then we also got the disappointment in Dalton Smith going against Matthew Germain. So we got Frazier Clark on that undercard, trying to bounce back from the last time he was out with Fabio Worley, make his face look like the ring. His face looked disfigured like the ring, boy. Like Samara got to him from the TV. But yeah, he bounced back against Ebenezer Teta. I don't think that's a good fight, but at least, you know what I'm saying, it's a good tune-up fight, you know, bounce back fight. You know, Ebenezer Teta just fought Dylan White and he lost. Older gentleman, I believe he's from Ghana. I believe he's a Ghanaian fighter. You know what I'm saying? So we got some good fights this weekend, man. I won't be able to give the commentary because, well, we'll see. I might go live from my cousin's crib. We'll see. If I can pull it up. These guys are fighting though, man. Ooh, nice little right hand uppercut from Kosi from South Africa, fighting against Matt Boley. I don't know. I don't remember his nationality. Nice jab. Ooh, double jab, then the right hand to the body from Kosi. Oh, he got a block though, bro. Ooh, that was a nice left hook from Matt Boley. Oh, straight right hand from Nkosi. These boys, bro, these boys be fighting in this Grand Prix, boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Big left hook from Matt Boley. They gotta work on their defense though, man. Keep it not really like defensive movement or maneuvers, but just keep your hands up, boy. Get your hand back. You know what I'm saying? Once you throw one dog out there, you should always have a dog protecting the house. You got two dogs. You know what I'm saying? That's what my boxing coach, my trainer always taught me, man. You got two dogs. You know what I'm saying? Your chin is a house. Two dogs protecting your house. When one dog leaves, you keep the other one there. When the other one leaves, when the other one's getting ready to leave, you got to make sure the other one's back. You know what I'm talking about? You always got a dog protecting the crib. Oh my goodness, nice body shot. Three-punch combination, all blocked by Matt Boley. 10 seconds left of the first round. That's a pretty good round right there, man. That's a pretty good round. Those dogs not domesticated, you feel me? Those dogs doing what they want to do, bro. You got to bring them dogs back in the crib, man. You can't be out here with the dogs. Ain't nobody protecting the crib. Got to protect the house. Definitely not domesticated, man. Some wild dogs, some feral dogs. They just out there rabbit biting everybody. Two perils. I like that. I appreciate that, Al Booger. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Two perils. Two perils en la casa, you know? Un perro salir? Is that right, Oscar? Un perro salir? Oh, no. Cuando un perro saliendo. Otro perro. How you say stay? Dang, I don't remember how to say stay. Quedar? To stay? I don't remember. You know what I'm talking about, though. I got to work on my Spanish, man. I'm doing better, though. Get my Spanish right. You feel me? You always got to have at least one dog protecting the house, man. Always. I'll do drills where in sparring where I wouldn't even throw a punch. Is Kadar? Shout out to Al Booger, man. Shout out to Al Booger, man. Appreciate that, bro. So I was right. Let's get right. Come on now. Come on now. You see me, though. You see me with my Spanish Al Booger. Stop playing with me, man. Shout out to Al Booger, man. We bilingual out here, man. Un perro sale, el otro se queda. Talk to him. One dog leaves, the other dog stays. One dog leaves, the other stays. Talk to him. Un perro sale, el otro se queda. Talk to him. You must protect this house. Gotta protect the house, man. You got two dogs, man. Left dog, right dog. They both can't be out at the same time. You can't have one out and then the other one down here. Ask Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua threw that uppercut. His other dog was at his hip. You know what I'm talking about? Like he was reaching for the 5. He got laid down. Matt Boley is applying that pressure right now. The body of Matt Boley look a little soggy out there in the middle, man. I like how Nkosi's he's committing to going downstairs. And Nkosi's body look a little soggy too, actually. 2 perros. 2 perros. Yes, sir. Body shots, and another one. Well, he felt that one. It looked like Matt Boley felt that body shot from Nkosi. They're fighting, boy, in the middle of the ring right now. Mano y mano. Nobody is giving an inch. Matt Boley's definitely fighting back. Nice left hook to a right hook from Nkosi. And Boley's throwing out a jab, walking him down. Coming forward. Ooh. 2-punch, 3-punch combination from Matt Boley. Oh, he turned it up. I think that might have hurt Nkosi. I think that might have hurt Kosi. Now, I don't know if he stumbled a little bit because his footing was off, but like he might have got hurt for that little combination that Matt Boley threw. I could be wrong. We'll see. Hey. Nice body shot. Nice jab. Now Kosi's coming forward. 30-second timer. 30-second horn went off. Now Nkosi's coming forward, man. He coming forward with bad intentions. Oh, boy. Deliberately coming forward. Matt Boley has his back against the ropes now. And that's the thing about being a pressure fighter. Whenever you that pressure gets alleviated and you start walking backwards, then we know that you are hurt. You're not comfortable. You're pretty uncomfortable, because if you were comfortable, you'll be coming forward like you were the duration of the fight up until this point. So those are telling signs when you're getting to somebody. Because this man, this is the first time we've seen Matt Boley walk backwards. Look at him. He hanging over the ropes. Oh, yeah, he feeling it. He feeling it, chat. He feeling it. That's a sign right there, man. When the pressure fighter stops coming forward, oh, yeah. They feeling something. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. For him or her. I'm about to go ahead and call it after this fight, though. I got to get some food, man. Your boy hungry. You got to be hungry, LeBron. You ever seen the video where they break into a house and the dogs runs away? Yes, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If my dogs did that, man, I love my dog. Well, rest in peace to Kimba. But if Bandit ever did that, man, I might go ahead and put him in the pound, man. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? You eating all that food, all you do is eat, sleep. You're dirty, you get a bath. You know what I'm talking about? You got, you know what I'm saying, eat, sleep, and shit. And you won't even bark when somebody come in, you want to run away? Oh, no. Oh, no, you ain't doing your job, brother. You got to go. You're a big old dog, too, 80 pounds. All that food you be eating? Oh, no, you got to go, cousin. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, Matt Boley might be in trouble, chat. Matt Boley might be in trouble, chat. Might be going down like there's a whale in the boat. He got to fight back, bro. He's not throwing no punches. He got to fight back. The referee might step in. You got to fight back. You got to fight back. And Kosi coming forward with bad intentions, like Jermaine Taylor. Right hand to the body from Kosi. Matt Boley is throwing some shots back, though. He's throwing punches back sparingly. He caught a big right hand. Double up on the right hand from Nkosi. Oh, my goodness. Right uppercut from Nkosi. And the referee stopped it. I don't know about that stoppage, man. I don't know about that stoppage, chat. Am I tripping? He said, if you're a pressure fighter and don't do road work, you're in trouble. Facts. Doc is like, I'm playing, but I'm not. You're right. Yeah, I'm playing, but I'm not. Right. That stoppage, man. I don't know about that stoppage, chat. I would have gave him a little bit more time. to show me something. I don't know. It's not a bad stoppage. I mean, he wasn't like, I did say it, right? I said, hey, you got to throw some shots back because the referee going to stop it. You got to fight back. He was throwing sparingly, but he was getting hit too. Ooh, that right hand right there, brother. Oh, you can't take all that. That's too much pressure. Oh, that's too much pressure. You can't take all that. But I don't know, man. I think it was a little premature in the stoppage, man. I'd have gave him a little bit more time, but hey, you gotta throw shots back, man. You gotta cover up effectively, man. So I'm not mad at the stoppage, but I'm not mad at the stoppage, man. Don't forget to smack that like button, y'all. I appreciate it, man. Oh no, that body tender is fuck. Yep, he won't be able to sit for a minute. Yep, it's not good, but also it's justifiable. I agree, Oscar. I agree, it's justifiable. I don't think it was good, but it was justifiable. Facts. I agree, man. But yeah, chat, man, I'm about to go ahead and get me some food, man. I'm gonna keep watching this WBC Boxing Grand Prix, man. Y'all check it out if y'all not doing anything. Check it out, man. Some good fights right here, man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all rocking. Don't forget to smack the like button on this video and go check out the videos I dropped earlier too. You know what I'm saying? Go check out all the videos, man. Hold me down. Appreciate it, man. Keep us going and growing. Tell your partner them. Tell your auntie, your mama, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your ex-friends, your boyfriends, your girlfriends. You know, tell them about the channel, man. Help keep us going and growing, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it, man. Y'all be easy. I'll be back on. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to my aunt's, and I might be staying till Easter Sunday. We got some stuff planned for the family gathering and stuff like that. So I'm not sure, man. We'll see. But I should be back on tonight for the late show for sure. Good Lord willing, man. So I look forward to catching y'all then. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Shout out to all the members specifically. And yeah, I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side, man. Y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.